everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Blue. I am obviously not here for free talk today. I am on the other side, which is right over here. Hi. Welcome back to the Deep Blue, everyone. It's good to have you guys here. And it's nice to see all you lovely faces back here at the Deep Blue again. How are you guys doing? Hello, hello. I felt like today would be a nice, pretty sunny, sort of beachy sort of day. Plus, I'm having beer today, so it's not quite often we get to have that, right? Do you guys hear the swishing waves behind, or do you want it? I think it should be a tad bit louder here. It's a bit soft, isn't it? You guys should probably hear it like now-ish. There you go. Ha! ASMR. This is as much of ASMR you get to have at the Deep Blue. Jazz and wave sounds in the background. That's as much as you can get, unfortunately, because, well, I don't really do ASMR after all. Beach episode? Yeah, it's one of those filler episodes in a bikini, except I have a sarashi instead of a bikini. Good enough, right? Good enough. You know what? Let me bring myself actually a tad bit further, hey. Let me actually just... I feel like I'm so fucking close. This? No, that's not a proper scale. Let me... Ugh. Is this okay? Yeah, no, that's fine, I think. I think that's fine. That's an okay scale. Let me bring myself a little bit bigger, actually. Just slightly... Like, there. Yeah. That works. That works. And yeah. Alright. Good enough. Good enough. Alright, how are you guys doing today? Let me see who's actually here first at the Deep Blue. Let me see who are the first few titlings here at the Deep Blue today. Even though we're having a little, a little beach episode, right? I see that the first here is Kyle, followed up by Jason, and Sheena, and Zar Shadow, and Zoe being the fifth. Congrats to our tops 5, and definitely not Ikezen, because he called me out last time for not noticing that he wasn't the first. What? So I guess he likes being bullied, is that it? But Ikezen is not here as the first top 5, but it's okay. At least I have you top 5 over here. Welcome back to the Deep Blue, guys. Of course, I also see Arena and Zoe, Sloth So Super, and Kevin, Ikezen doing the report and being late. It's okay, I guess. And Jade, Ray, and Ghost of Mint, and Jade. Oh wait, I already said Jade. Ayo, I like cheese, and Triple P Jack, and Sheena Mashiro, and Centipede, NYC Leprechaun, Ivan, Mate Ridgeway, Rev, and Nivis, welcome back, and hello Jarrison, and also Genjitsu Samha, of course, and who else do I see here? Fluffy, Nicolitsis, and did I miss anyone? No, that's everyone. And Gentle Ripple. Welcome back to the Deep Blue. Wait, what is up with you guys having lack of sleep? Did something happen? Like, was there like a collective event that got you guys like just having lack of sleep? What's going on? What's up with the lack of sleep, huh? Also, I haven't had dark beer in forever. I have a Guinness with me right now, so chat about that. Let me crack it open. Ah. Cheers. Not as good as draft, but good enough. Hi, I only follow short VTubers. Are you sure you're at the right place then, huh? That's crazy. And look at that, Mate Ridgeway. Look at you guys actually have 5 stream streaks. Isn't that crazy? I saw some of you guys posting it earlier. Arena with the 5 stream streak. And also Mate Ridgeway, Mythos. Who else was it? Kyle? You guys with all the stream streaks? I don't even know how that shit works. But thank you for always coming back to the deep blue. Body clock unsynced, Anna. Unfucking your body clock is like such a pain in the ass. So good luck with that, man. Shit, it's the worst thing. Like, I remember those days where I just fuck up my sleep schedule and like I try to get back on it. It's like such a pain and suffering journey. Gentle Ripple, thank you for gifting a titling over on Twitch side, bringing in a new titling into the deep blue. Thank you. And also thank you for being 3 months a titling, Gentle Ripple. I hope you've enjoyed your quarter here at the deep blue, be it from the conversations we have or like the gaming experiences that I happen to have every once in a while. Hopefully you enjoyed your time here. And Sheena, thank you for being 23 months. 23 months a titling. That's a long time. Thank you, Sheena, for being such a loyal supporter of the deep blue. Sheena, I think you were like one of the first few who were like around when, you know, we were like still relatively smaller. Thank you for the hybrid arena. Nivis? Is it like Nivis? Is that correct, Nivis? Yeah, I was wondering if I was pronouncing it correct yesterday, actually. Yeah, 2 new titlings at the deep blue, isn't it nice? Gotcha. Hi there, Sly. How are you? Body clock. Wait, is daylight? No, daylight savings is gone in what? November? Is it? What happened to sacred RR redeems? I took them out because I just couldn't be bothered doing them anymore. You guys are fine without RR redeems anyway. I've seen you do so many things. It's been fun. Yeah, what have I been doing? Like, you've been around for 23 months. That's practically 2 years? Holy shit, that's like 2 years, right? Yeah, my math is mathing. That's 2 years. How's it like being 2 years at the deep blue? Sheena. What are we talking about today? I have no idea just yet. I think we're just about warming up, so we'll see where today's conversations take us, hey? But how are the sea sounds you hear right now? Are they at a good level? Gentle Ripple! Thank you for gifting a sub over to Nivis. And thank you for turning Nivis into a titling and completing the hype train and taking us to the next level. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity, Gentle Ripple. 4th of November. I mean, it's just an hour behind. It can't be too bad now, would it? I think it would be much worse, you know, back when you would use like analog clocks and everything like that. But nowadays, how the magic of smartphone clocks work, where basically it just automatically updates, I think it's great. Or like, I think nowadays, do you guys still use analog clocks and watches? I used to always wear watches and everything like that and have an analog clock around me, but I've since ditched that. But also, my country does not experience daylight savings. So we don't have like some random shift in time in like the end of the year or something like that. That doesn't happen to us. But all the clocks that I have at home are digital right now. Which is why last time I was late, because the batteries to my clock died. And because it was dying, well, it didn't die, it was dying. And because it was dying, it was like late by, it was late by 20 minutes or something. It's a good sound, Balas. Thank you, that's good to hear. I've seen you change to this chat overlay. I've seen you upgrade your models. You're singing my personal favorite things to see you improve at. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of changes, but not so many changes as well, right? I mean, if you think about it, I think changing a model in 2 years, I think that's relatively slow progress compared to a lot of other VTubers. I still can't believe that VTubers out there have seasonal models, like, oh yeah, let's get a spring model, let's get a summer model. Like, nothing against them, but I think it's so crazy. Like, goddamn. But yeah, our first model change is in 2 years. And it's a whole vibe change in it. But also, I'd like to think that I retained a good part of like the original design, right? Of the OG model. I can't wait till you guys see my haircut. which is on it's gonna be shown in birthday week. So be sure to be there for the Tuesday if you want to see the first reveal of it, okay? You have an analog watch? Yeah, I used to also wear analog watches or like automatic watches. I used to wear them. But ever since I got an Apple Watch, I haven't really switched over because everything I need is on the Apple Watch. Plus, I really need Apple Watches. Like, I need a smartwatch because if I don't have a smartwatch, I will literally just ditch my phone and I forget to reply to anyone and anything. And then people will be like, oh my fucking God, where's Noira? You know? So for some people, smartwatches can be distracting. For me, it's a good balance. Just because of the fact that I just leave my phone out way too often. So a smartwatch is a nice way to kind of reel me back in with notifications. For like work stuff, mostly, really. And even just like replying to friends. Hold on, I'm catching up with chat here. Chatto Matteo. Where is it? Where's the chat? Ah, here. Never did very well in private school for that. You have an analog alarm clock. Damn, you have an analog alarm clock? Do you like smack it in the morning or throw it across your bedroom? I've never had... No, I used to have an analog alarm clock. I hated the fuck out of it. Yeah. And then I started using just the phone to wake up and everything like that for other times. So I didn't use an analog alarm clock for long, I feel like. Because, you know, there were like the digital alarm clocks after that. I have a watch on and I have oh wait, I already read that. Watches are uncomfortable for me, but I got a bunch of analogs around. I mean, I feel like for a guy, watches are a nice accessory, right? I mean, as a guy, you don't really get to accessorize much. Watches are like the one way you get to kind of spruce up how you look. So I think for women, it'd be bags. Like my friend used to say in this, my my materialistic friend circle used to say that, I'm not friends with them anymore nowadays, by the way. But they used to say that, by the way, thank you for completing the hype train, guys. Thank you. They used to say that you can see how a man's valuation via the watch he wears, or a woman's valuation via the bag she wears. Basically, you can see kind of, for lack of better wording, how rich they are depending on what watch a guy wears or like what bag the girl wears. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I see it. But nowadays, I don't give a flipping fuck, dude. Fuck me. Well, nowadays, the bag I wear the most is just like a plain ass tote bag. I don't even care about that shit anymore. But yeah, some people around the world actually think that way. But you guys don't have to think that way. But I do still think that for guys, like men's fashion, watch is a nice way to spruce up how you look. Yeah, I mean, I think classical looking watches don't even cost that much, honestly. Like, they're okay. And they look nice. And, you know, in this world where first impressions are very much visual, right? The first time you meet someone, you can only judge based on how they look. I think it is important how you look. And that's something I say quite often here, right? You might think, no, I don't care for how I look. Yeah, sure. But like, you really can't deny the fact that people will judge you when they meet you for the first time and treat you based off their first visual impression of you. That is just a fact. So it's up to you if you want to care or not about your looks, but you really can't deny that fact. So thus it's your own consequence to bear. Thank you, Sly, for bringing in 5 new titlings over on YouTube side and gifting 5 memberships. Thank you. Perfect, because we're having a membership stream this weekend. So we'll have new titlings over for the membership stream. Yeah, keep that in mind, guys. Man, thank you for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. Oh my god, you guys. Bringing in how many new titlings? In total, Sly and Mint brought in 10 new titlings into the Deep Blue on YouTube side. Thank you. Thank you. I like analog watches, but they make my skin wrinkle and flake. Oh, is it like an allergic reaction centipede, or is it just like your skin is dry or something? I've never heard of that. Or skin irritation, I guess? Is it the strap? You might want to try changing the strap. Let me catch up with chat. Holy shit. I have missed out on so much chat because I just yapped. Are you going full Britney? Wait, what was the context of that Genjutsu summon? What do you mean, am I going full Britney? It's VTuber haircut, guys. If I had a real IRL haircut, you guys wouldn't know anyway. There's no point in me telling you guys that I'm getting an IRL haircut. I'm an anime girl after all. It's not as if I'm gonna start taking pictures of my IRL. But, I mean, I could, but I won't. Because I don't feel like it. Yeah, nah, we're gonna get a VTuber haircut. So new hairstyle for the VTuber, for the Sea Fox of yours. No, it is not a bald haircut. Not a bald hairstyle as much as you guys would want it to be. It is not. It is a very pretty hairstyle though. Any specific time the Minecraft community server will be open? It really depends on when I can get to it, because it really depends on my availability, so please be patient. I can't really give much confirmation on it. Yeah. Oh wait. We can't ditch social media even on our watches, why Lord? I mean, you can just mute social media notifications, which is what I do. I usually... Do you guys do this? Like, do you guys filter your notifications in general? Like, every once in a while, I would always like filter my notifications and apps that I don't use. I would uninstall them or mute their notifications because I feel like for the days when I'm pissed, those notifications fucking frustrate me, man. When there's just a lot of it, or like emails that you didn't realize you're subscribed to. I would have these bouts of just muting notifications and unsubscribing to subscriptions on email, and thus I generally keep my mailbox and my notification center quite relatively lean. Jack John, thank you for being 10 months of titling. You're almost 12 months of titling. Thank you. Why are we at the beach? Why are you scared of the beach? Because they're having beer at the beach, okay? That's why we're at the beach. My alarm ringtone is one particularly jazz-like soundtrack called Action from Zenless Zone Zero. It sounds like it's Lighter's theme song or something. I wouldn't know. I haven't really played Zenless Zone Zero, but I do know Zenless Zone Zero has amazing visuals. God damn, I really need to catch up with chat. Stop yapping, Noira. Hi there, Scarling. Why do you have a spellbook, Scarling? Not a fan of watches. I keep noticing their existence on my wrist. Maybe because I had one that was pretty heavy. Honestly, I think like at the start, nobody is really used to watches. So it's just something that you just gotta get used to. Unfortunately, there's really no way around it. He uses an Apple Watch now. I mean, yeah, smartwatches are pretty convenient, but also if it distracts you for the wrong reasons, it might not be good for you. For example, my friend was like telling me how having a smartwatch feels makes him feel a bit horrible sometimes, because it gets him checking the notifications constantly, and then it makes him feel like he looks busy even though he's not, and then he's got somewhere to be even though he doesn't. He's just looking at notifications, making sure that he's not missing out on anything. Or it's like a reflexive sort of thing. It vibrates and you check for notifications. So it really depends. For me, a smartwatch is a good balance. It keeps me grounded with my digital requirements of day-to-day notifications and messages. For other people, not so much. So it really depends on what you're going for. Even for me, right? I still often choose not to use my smartwatch because it's nice to be free of notifications. So it's not as if I use it every day, but I use it pretty often. I use it every time I sleep though. It's a nice alarm. Let me tell you this, a smartwatch is really good for when you're sleeping with someone, right? Wait, not in that way. But what I mean is that if you don't sleep alone, if you sleep with someone in the same bed, a smartwatch can kind of vibrate and wake you up without disturbing the person next to you. So a smartwatch is a really good alarm. I do think status via accessories is one of the weirder ideas that people have, but it is true, and we can't limit it usually to belts, bracelets, necklaces as guys. Yeah, it is. If your skin is very dry, please hydrate and moisturize. Take care of your skin. We only have one skin throughout our whole life, right? One skin, all the scars and everything, you know, it stays. So take care of it. If you have a scar from like when you were way young and everything, it will still stay unless you like do something about it. So if your skin is dry, take care of it. You have one skin for your whole life. Use a lotion, use hydrating stuff, you know, use sunscreen. I remember I had a whole video talking about, well, TLDRing the why skincare is important. Hi the Eclipse button. Hara, 5 stream streaks. Thank you for being around 5 times in a row. Welcome back, Hara. I just turn off notifications from the phone completely quite often. I do the same. Yeah. I think in the current world, it is definitely necessary for you to kind of just not pay attention to everything. It's not as if like, you know, we're constantly flurried and buffeted by information and like sensationalized shit. You know, like even our notifications, they're always made for like, aha, click-through rate and aha, impressions, you know. They're always trying to get you to engage. So everything around us is trying to get us to engage. So I don't think our brain is meant for that. So definitely like just a little winding down and getting away from all of that is important from time to time. And being aware of such things is very important. Being aware of how too many notifications is bad for you. Take my umbrella for a sec. Yes, please use sunscreen, guys. Any recommendations for treating acne in the face? Yes, but it depends on what kind of acne. Is it like a zit, like a few zits, or is it like a rosacea, or is it like irritated skin? Like, is it red skin sort of acne that's kind of, you know, I wouldn't say rampant, but you have quite a lot of it, like red patches? Is that the kind of acne you have? It depends. But usually for acne, take it with a grain of salt, of course. But you usually want to use something that helps you exfoliate your skin. Something like AHA, BHA, and salicylic acid, stuff like that. And then use hydrating stuff. Or like you can also use soothing stuff like Centella, Asiatica. That's stuff that can help soothe your skin. First option, more specifically, if it's like singular zits, it's better to kind of just treat it like use spot cream treatment, like those acne spot treatment stuff, I think. But for me, what works with skincare is like a combination of retinol. I use retinol, which is like an exfoliant. Retinol, AHA, BHA, and hyaluronic acid. That's what I use in general. But anyway, I'm probably not the best person to ask skincare about. I haven't changed my skincare routine for like the longest fucking time because I think I found what works for me. But in general, right guys, in general, I think if you can kind of just minimize your skincare routine in the morning, some must-haves are definitely washing your face in the morning and in the evening before you go to sleep and when you wake up. That's very important. Wash your face and then immediately like use a moisturizer and sunscreen. That's the easy way to go about it. Moisturizer and sunscreen, or like you can use a serum and a moisturizing sunscreen. That's also an option. And then at night at night you can use the exfoliating stuff such as retinol. That's the TLDR of the skincare that I do, at least. But yeah, sunscreen is very important. Your sun damage is real, guys. For y'all who live in Australia, you guys would know what I mean. Australia has very big campaigns on sunscreens and everything like that because, you know, the ozone layer was kind of fucked up for a tad while. Kind of still is, but not as bad as it used to be. But they would always tell you to kind of get SPF 50 shit, always wear sunscreen and everything like that because the sun is very relatively harsh in Australia. What did you guys want to ask? My skin gets irritated by blowing fans. Any suggestions? Wait, what do you mean by blowing fans? Do you mean like you have fans blowing in your face? Like dry air? Is that what you mean? Or is it like dirty air? I'm not a dermatologist, by the way, guys, obviously. I have an oily face, so I've been dealing with acne problems my entire life. A pharmacist once told me eating fruits with high acidity helps lower alkaline levels on your liver, so less acne risk. Oh yeah, so another thing is that your diet really matters when it comes to your skin. So maybe if you have oily skins, I know that usually dermatologists, what they say is that you should either try cutting out, see what cutting out sugar does for you, or cutting out dairy or oily foods. Like try each of those, because usually those three are like the culprits to your skin. And if you have an oily face, you also have like specific products you can use to kind of control your oil levels. Fortunately for me, having occasional pimples showing up to me is genetical. I know everyone has this, but it's like 3 times that to me. Yeah, I mean, I still think like a spot treatment can kind of help out with that. Like having acne cream to kind of help you get those one-off pimples out of the way. Gets itchy when the fan blows on my arm. That sounds like dry skin. So maybe just moisturize, dude. Get a lotion. I do know that usually, for example, I am not sponsored by the way, but I think dermatologists usually suggest one brand in particular, which is CeraVe, which is I think relatively affordable as well. You can get that. I personally use for my lotion, I use Aveeno because that's what's more available in my country. But yeah, get a lotion. CeraVe lotion or QV I think is also an option. Aveeno, get a hydrating lotion, ideally with something that's like silicone, paraben free sort of shit. But yeah, CeraVe is good. CeraVe is usually dermatologist recommended. If your skin gets itchy in a way and it kind of looks crackly or feels crackly or rough to touch, or like having dry air blown at it makes it feel itchy, it's most likely, I think, according to my personal experience, dry skin. So get it hydrated with some lotion. Hi there, Rayla. Why are we talking about skincare? It's crazy. I'm not a dermatologist, guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys can take whatever I said as an entry-level point to kind of, I guess, find out more about skincare. Because like I said, you live with one skin your whole life. You might as well take care of it, right? Do the bare minimal. If you're lazy, there are very minimalist ways to kind of take care of your skin. Like I mentioned, wash your face morning and night. Moisturize or serum and chuck a sunscreen on. That is enough, honestly. That is enough. And then you can do some extra steps if you want to, such as exfoliating and everything like that. Your skin in the model is proof you're healthy in skin. I mean, my model's skin is like pixels and shit. Like, it doesn't say shit, dude. But yeah. Hopefully it's an entryway for you guys to get to know more about skincare. You can't really use my model's skin as a reference point, eh? But do know this. I think usually skin is genetics as well. So you might see people with perfect skin. It's either genetics or filters. Most people on Earth do not have perfect skin. They too have large pores, and they too have maybe, you know, skin texture, and, you know, have bumpy skin and have acne scars and everything like that. It's very normal. So don't feel bad about having bad skin, but do know there are ways to improve it. And you don't have to go like excessive with it either. Sometimes just try going from like a little routine, like I mentioned earlier. Wash your face morning, night, and then use a sunscreen and moisturizer. Just doing that can take you from 0 to 1. Like take you from a state of having done nothing to just doing the smallest of things and having a massive impact. I have eczema, best moisturizer. It's medicated, can be found in places. Like, yeah, and as I know, like I think for eczema, usually oats and honey stuff usually helps with eczema. So if you get like lotions and everything with oats or honey, it can help. We learned a lot about your stream demographics. Did you now? What do you think my stream demographic is? What do you guys reckon the average age of titlings are here at the Deep Blue? You're moving to live with Rayla? Oh my god. Damn. You know what? I'm happy for you guys. That's a big step, dude. Good luck. That's a massive big step. Congrats, you two. Ancient is 30. Oh my god, Hara, your perception of ancient is questionable. 30, 20s to 30s, 25, 28. Yeah, you guys are about right, you know. Okay, what do you guys reckon is the average age of VTuber watchers? What would your guys reckon? I want to see if there's a difference. What is the average age of a streamer like me? Obviously, infinite, because I could be immortal and you guys would not know it either. So all you guys know is that I stay forever young. But I'm older than you guys always, so you guys can't say shit. 2018 to 25, 30s 20 to 30. Yeah, that's fair. According to YouTube, my demographic is about like 78%. Yeah, 78%, like 25 plus, like 25 to 35, like 78% or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, and then 25, yeah, and then there's like a small percentage, like 10%, that's like 30-ish to 40-ish. The ages of anything like of people under 25 are about 18 or 20%. I think, if I remember correctly. So in general, people seem to say that it's I have a relatively older demographic compared to like other VTubers, which is fair. Considering the shit that we talk about here at the Deep Blue, right? And also considering the fact that, you know, I'm not the most chaotic either, and maybe some of the younglings might prefer someone who's a little bit more energetic, which is fair game, and they may prefer a VTuber who's like that rather than my vibes here. Well, yeah, it's an interesting thing. If you notice, like in chat, often we hear some titlings talking about, oh yeah, no, my wife, my hubby, yada yada, and it's very interesting. And you know what? I vibe with it. I love the current vibe that we have in chat. I love the balance and the demographic that we have, the people that we have, and as titlings of the Deep Blue, I think we're all a perfect mix. We're working people 35 hours a day, all that, so we chill here at the shrine. Yeah, exactly. Well, not at the at the Deep Blue, yeah. Compared to a lot I've watched and have shared those numbers, it's very similar. Maybe that says more about the VTubers that you watch again, Jitsusava. Maybe Yeah, maybe you happen to like VTubers who appeal to that sort of demographic. But I do wonder, what is it that makes someone appeal more to an older demographic, say, or a relatively older demographic, like 25 plus to 30-ish, compared to like a younger demographic? I would say that to a certain extent, it's of course like the energy that they bring to the table during streams or for their content. And maybe also the games that they play and the jokes that they make. Other than that, do you guys reckon there are other factors that come into play? What do you mean you work 64 hours per minute? How does that even make sense? Rev, you don't... Shush. Remember what I said, okay? You two, keep it chill. Hi, cashew nuts. I feel like I'm one of the youngest here. I'm not saying how old I am though, because we are on the internet. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. Energy and themes. Themes in what sort of way? Mrs. Cheese would be a title, but her work schedule wouldn't allow, so she's an occasional VOD watcher. Hey, Mrs. Cheese. Hi, Mrs. Cheese. Oh, that's cute. Have you guys ever watched my stuff together? Optics are secondary. Horny on main? Yeah, but if I tell you to not be horny on main, can you? No, I mean, look, most of the times I'm pretty chill with these sort of things, but whatever the fuck you guys do at the Deep Blue when I'm not around, don't tell me about it, bro. Leave it for like your DMs or something. I don't want to hear about it. Some are yappers, some play TCGs, other are cracked gamers. Oh, that is a huge variety, actually. I'll behave, but only because you asked so nicely, Mister. See, like I told you guys, this is how you know some people are younger than others. When people make more horny jokes and make more horny comments, you just kind of assume that they're younger. That's at least how I perceive some people in chat. It's usually like how active they are in chat, and then the second is like how many horny comments they make. And then you can kind of surmise, oh, I think I kind of know what their age range is. I like to think of ways I could make money. Why are we talking about money? Why are we suddenly talking about how to make money? I only watch 2 VTubers, and you are the complete opposite of the second one I watch in personality and vibes. Well, that's good. You have the best of both worlds then, right? Themes are conversation topics, types of games, atmosphere, and even loudness, and the voice and laughter. Ah, that's fair. Like, you mean like cozy is probably a theme in itself, right? Horny comments active in chat. Yeah, that's a general like measuring stick to at least how I'm like, oh, I think I have a general idea of how old this person is. But of course, it does not dismiss the fact that some people are still older and stay horny. God bless them. They still stay horny on main. You know what? I'm not one to judge that. I'm not the person who's going to greet you at the gates of heaven. No, at least I don't think so. And even if I was, you guys wouldn't know. But anyway, yeah. But you were saying that you got some topic to discuss for this Wednesday. Oh, right. I've been talking about it like since Wednesday though already. Now, horny jokes doesn't show maturity, man. I feel like. I don't think like being horny or not shows maturity or not. I think it's just like when people get older, I feel like they just tend to be a little bit more mellow in a sense. They don't participate in things as actively in general. It's not that they're less horny. Nah, not always. They can still have the same levels of libido, but maybe they just don't, out it out in public as much anymore, or maybe they can't be fucked just chatting and making horny jokes as much anymore. So it's not really a measuring stick for like maturity. I'm at the age where you start to realize time actually flows. When I was 20 to 25, I would swear everyone around me were similar age wherever I go. Now everyone is at least a few years younger. Ah, I see. Ah, okay, so the things that I talk about aging are quite relevant. VTubing is a spectrum, I think. You have streamers like Noira, and then on the other you have streamers like Chibidoki. I think I'd rather have a streamer like Noira who is wise, graceful, intelligent, and beautiful. Oh, stop it, you! Stop it, you! Do you want something? And hey, I'm glad you guys like it, hey. Truly. Cheers to that. YouTube chat is missing? No, YouTube chat is there. Good duck bee. It's really hot today though. Ugh. There's like a heat wave thing going on in my country right now. It's so bad. It's like hot every day. As you get older, what was once horny becomes something cherished and shared only with the closest ones. I think it depends on the person. So I'm not gonna say shit about being horny. I think how can we move on? Can we stop talking about being horny? Okay, let's talk about something else. Love the deep, even though it's been a while. Hi, welcome back, Kira. Welcome back. Is it really hot, or is it just you, Noira? Maybe it is me, hey? Maybe it is. But hey, if it gets too hot, I evaporate, bro. Like parts of my tails and ears evaporate, and then I'm left with like sea salt. Part of my charm evaporates. That's not good. That's not good for anyone. You're right, I started the topic. Yeah, nah. Look, I have nothing about, I have nothing against like horny talks or anything like that. But, yeah, I have nothing against it, honestly. But I do have something against TMI. So, don't TMI. Because, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with TMI information, dude? Anyway, moving on. Hi, Peter. How are you, darling? I don't want to be exposed. I know I keep on saying I want to move on from the topic, but, like, you know, I don't want to get exposed to, like, accidental smut. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes, as Professor Oak says, there is a time and place for everything. I don't want to accidentally read smut in the middle of my office hours because of someone's TMI. But that's my preference. No, all good. All good. Hi! If we throw you into a pit of fire, will you evaporate out of the pit before the fire pit gets put out? Or, I don't know. We have yet to try that. What's TMI? TMI is too much information. It's like you could be saying, yeah, I banged that hot guy last weekend. You could be saying instead like, yeah, oh my god, do you know how big he was? Do you know how hard it was to actually get him to fit into me? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need, unless I ask, do not divulge me in such fucking details that I do not want to talk about or listen to. I had a friend who was like that, man. I had a friend who was like that back then when I was in Australia. I remember she banged my hot Italian chef friend. And she was like, oh my god, I wet everything. And I'm like, you did not need to tell me that. And I was like, oh my god, do you know how big it was? And I'm like, bro, shut up. I don't want to know, god damn it. Hi, so Kalistus. Yeah, sorry, I was just talking about how some people are TMI. Yeah. Why would you clip this shit? What the fuck? You're hearing this with zero context. I also heard that with zero context, by the way. I was just having coffee with this other friend of mine, and she proceeded to tell me that she banged my hot Italian chef friend that I was talking to last night. And divulge us in all of the details. But then at that point, the curiosity got to me. Like, I was annoyed at the start because it was TMI, but curiosity got to me, so then I started to ask about the juicy details. But anyway, moving onwards. I'm gonna drink some beer. You know, my friend is getting married like next month. A friend of mine is getting married, and she still thinks that I'm the drinking guru or something like that. And she was like texting me earlier today. She was like, oh my god, Noira, I'm so scared for my wedding. What do I have to do so that I don't get too drunk? What do I have to do so that I just stay tipsy all the time? What do I have to do to not get a hangover for the day tomorrow? And because I need to take care of the hubby and everything like that. And I'm like, girl, chill, man. So she was like asking me for like advice on how to kind of survive the night, the after party. And I was like, okay, I gave the general advice, right? Where it's like, okay, look, with every shot that you have a glass of water, get some electrolytes in you, prepare some electrolytes. And yeah, don't drink too much if you don't have to. This is I told you guys about this yesterday, right? This is the hubby who always challenges me to drinking because he thinks I'm the senpai. And he's like, come on, senpai, you can drink more. You can't lose to a junior like me. So that's the hubby. And he's gonna get fucking drunk. I'm pretty fucking sure of it. I just hope I don't get drunk with him. But anyway, she's like, can you help me not get drunk for the night? And I'm like, no, but you're the bro, you should get drunk. So I was like, look, I'll help you make sure that you drink water throughout the night. And I'll bring you some things that will help out with having less, so that you'll have less of a hangover the day after, okay? So I have made that pact with her. I'll bring her my supposed hangover pills. So she survives and can still carry on the day tomorrow. You're that worried, just get a fake bottle. You fill the champagne bottle with sparkling water. The thing is, I want her drunk too. It's her wedding night, dude. You know, the thing is, like, for a lot of people, after you wed up, right? After you have a wedding and you get wedded, a lot of the times you don't really party much after that. So it's almost like your kind of final chance to like get drunk for like a good time for like a while. You know what I mean? Because for a lot of people, once you get hitched, you actually start immediately advanced adulting. You start paying mortgage, you start planning for a kid, you start planning for kid supplies, you know, you start thinking about, how do I manage a household and my family and everything like that. You know, you don't have time for fucking partying. That's why a lot of people, after they get wedded or after they have a kid, you can't really reach out to them anymore because they're just fucking busy with figuring out advanced adulting. So I'm like, you should let loose, man. And she's like, no, but who's gonna take care of my hubby if he gets drunk? And I'm like, bro, don't worry about it. He'll survive. Is she smashed when she gets drunk? I remember she's very yappy when she's drunk. She's very yappy when she's drunk. I think she kind of becomes a little bit childish when she's drunk. She gets angry at the smallest things. Like, you know, the kind of drunk who gets a little bit... she's very cute, by the way. The kind of drunk who would get a little bit possessive. Like the boyfie would be like out there talking to his guy mates, and she's like, oh my god, why is he always like talking to his guy mates? Why is he not talking to me? Does he not like me anymore? What the fuck? And she'd just be like kind of whining to her girlfriends. That's the kind of drunk she is. I'm sorry, I don't know why I put on her voice every time I try to explain how she's like when she's drunk, but she is actually that kind of girl. She's very cute. She used to be a lot more innocent, not so much nowadays, ever since she met this hubby of hers. Ever since she met my junior. She's been taught the ways of drinking. Sounds like a completely reasonable conversation at a wedding. Yeah. That voice suits me. Are you crazy? Perfect time to do adventures and steal street codes. Yeah, she's very cute. If she had a troublemaker around her or a partner in crime, she would definitely be a good partner to that crime. You brought her into the dark side? Not me. When I was like crazy drinking back then, when I was still hanging out with her a lot, she didn't really drink as much as I did. I was just like solo drinking with a bunch of mates instead most of the time. So it wasn't me. I think the current guy, the hubby she's about to wed, is the one who kind of taught her how to navigate the worlds of drinking and drinking with adult friends. I remember the first time she tried a cigarette was mine. She was like, Noira, can I know what a cigarette tastes like? And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to taint your virgin esophagus with my cigarettes? Are you sure you want to taint your virgin lungs like that? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, no, I really do. I'm like, oh, okay, here. I'll give you can try it. Because I'm actually that type of person who lets people try things, right? Just so that at least when they try something, it's within a contained environment and I can take care of them if anything goes wrong or anything like that. That's why I've told my niece before that if you want to try drinking, she's 18 now, but when she was like turning 18, I was like, look, if you wanted, she was gonna do like a travel with friends to like Japan or something, and I'm like, if you want to try drinking, you know, it's totally okay, but I would suggest you try with adults first, or like, for example, me. You can try drinking with me. It's totally okay to drink. Drinking is not like a 0 to 1 where you drink and then, oh my god, you're immediately a heretic and you deserve all the things that comes with sin. No, it's nothing like that. No, if you want to try drinking, you can try drinking with me. See whether you like it or not, but at least you know what drinking is like, so you don't get curious about it, you know? How does cigarettes taste? Bitter. Cigarettes, I feel like, is an acquired taste. I don't think anyone tries cigarettes and immediately like it. So... yeah, bitter. It's an acquired taste. Wish I had that kind of drunk around. My previous experiences with drunk people were not really pleasant, so now I can't stand any kind of drunk. I mean, I hope one day you find the kind of drunks that are quite fun. I'm a very fun drunk, by the way. Not that I'm trying to kind of gas myself up or anything, but you know how I am right now? When I'm drunk, it's just ×2. I get even more lively and I have more energy. That's how I am when I'm drunk. I smoke. You need people you trust. Yeah, exactly. I smoke, but no nicotine and no tobacco. Just like got like herbs like what's that? Mullein? Oh, do you use those herbal cigarettes? I think you guys have those, right? I've always wanted to try those. I've never tried them because you don't really have them here. You're a good aunt. Okay, why is it weird when you guys say aunt? Oh my god, I never want to hear that word again. Can you don't mention aunt in chat? I don't know how I feel about you guys calling me aunt. That's very weird. It's oneesan, okay? Please, thank you. Damn. I forgot that the legal drinking age is lower in other countries than it is in the US. Here you have to be 21 to buy alcohol, smokes, and anything else along those lines. Yeah, in Australia, I believe it's like 18. Cigars taste wonderful. When I tried cigars back then, when I think I was at I can't remember, some Cuban lounge or something like that. I can't remember, but it was a little too strong for me. I can't with cigars. What's a good beginner newbie drink? Previously chugged cider like soda and it ended poorly. Cider is a good way to start drinking, actually. I think one of the ciders that I used to like was Recorderlig. Nowadays that cider is a little bit too sweet for me. So you can start off with ciders, of course, but like don't chug cider, man. It's horrible. It's not meant to be chugged. It's meant to be enjoyed. And then you could start with also like light beers. And nowadays you also have hard seltzer, which is something I like. I even drink it when I play padel sometimes, which is kind of like For you guys who don't know what paddle is, it's kind of like a chill tennis. I drink sometimes whilst play paddle. I drink hard seltzer. It's a new thing. It's a hard seltzer is kind of like sparkling water, but flavored and with alcohol. On a night out, I would smoke 2 packs. 2 packs is crazy, dude. On a night out, I would smoke like 1 pack. I've never smoked 2 packs, I feel like. But like back then, I would always smoke 1 pack whenever I had a night out. 2 packs is mad. No, it sounds like we should bring the tidelings around for a drink with you and me. I'm a singing party drunk myself, but it's really hard for me to get drunk anyway. Do I want to bring the tidelings out drinking? I don't want to babysit tidelings. Can you imagine just like a whole I wanted to say a murder of tidelings as if it's a murder of crows, but like a whole band of merry tidelings, and I'm just like the sea fox who kind of just babysits everyone, and we're like, no, please don't drink that. No, stay, sit down. That sounds like a very chaotic environment to be in. I don't know if I want to do that. I've never gotten drunk, but part of that is I'm way too guarded a person to allow myself. I do think, honestly, that it's good to know that because drinking is quite a norm in a lot of cultures, there is some merit, objectively, to kind of learn how to drink. When I say learn, it doesn't mean that you should be drinking a lot, no, but it's more like you should know your limits, and you should know how to navigate around a drinking environment, how to say no to drinks, and how to protect your drinks, and how to fake drinking when someone forces you to drink. These sort of things to kind of help you navigate through drinking situations. Those are very good things to learn about. Or when to know your limits, and also when to know what it's like when you're drunk, or what kind of drunk you're like, and how to take care of drunk people. These are like, I wouldn't call it drinking 101, but what would you call it? I don't know. Survival guide to drinking 101, I guess. Yeah, that shit's important. So even if you don't like drinking, I've also told this to my niece and nephews. I told them the exact thing, that even if you don't like drinking, I think it's important to kind of know how to navigate around drinking culture. I started with Corona. Oh yeah, Corona is really good, especially on a beach. Funny how I open your stream and now I have the desire to get a whiskey right now, despite me not being big into alcohol. You'd be surprised how many people say that. But I'm glad that I kind of invoke those sort of vibes for you to get a glass of whiskey. 2 packs only. I smoke 3 or 4 packs. Are your lungs okay, mate? I usually, but a 1 liter whiskey just for myself when I go. Holy fuck! That's a crazy tolerance. I could never. I could never. Do you still smoke, Peter and Genjitsu-sama? Wait, we had the name for a group of tidelings, right? What was it? Do you guys remember? There was a name that we made for a group of tidelings. What do we call a plural of tidelings? Peter, super chat, arigato. Thank you for your offering towards the shrine. The multiple of a tideling group, similar to a murder of crows. Noira, you should know this by now. A congress of baboons, a migrant of toddlers, an autism of 4chan trolls, and a cult of... We're not a cult. Fuck, I got baited into that. We're not a cult. How dare you bait me? We're not a cult, by the way, guys. If you're new here and you hear things about being a cult, do not believe anything that you hear. It is totally fake. We are totally not a cult. God damn. Shit. Been 2 months without alcohol, not because I want to. Same with parents taking care of me. And that's totally understandable and valid, Farhan, of course. We're not a cult, guys. Oh my god. I was just thinking, right, the other day, and I was like, I haven't had cult allegations for a while. That's good. That's good. And then today this happens. Well, I thought the cult allegations have died down. And then maybe people will start seeing the Deep Blue in a better light, you know, that, oh, the Deep Blue is not a cult. No, Noira is not a cult leader. She's just a very wise oneesan who can't mix drinks, who can't make drinks, but can pour drinks and can drink. But she is definitely not a cult leader. I thought that we'd be going in that direction, but no. No, apparently not. Damn. We worship the great sea fox. I don't know if there's anything of me to worship. I don't know how I feel about that, but thank you. Thank you. Maybe if you worship me enough, maybe even though I'm maybe not a god or anything, maybe I can dispense some blessings and maybe some good luck into your day-to-day. Mayhaps. You know how you get like little charms for when you go to shrines, or like little bells when you go to shrines, like good luck charms and everything like that? I wonder what that would be if we had similar things, like charms for the Deep Blue Shrine. What would that look like? Don't believe the cult allegations. Trust me, the drug scribe. I will mark a quest on all your maps. What quest did you add? The cult is just doing cultish functions, so not mentioning that we might be we're not a cult! You know, denying the cult allegations is only going to make the Streisand effect stronger, right? But you're not helping me though. If I don't deny it, what is there to do? To accept it? Accepting cult allegations is not going to make me look any better. Oh yes, please do so, Farhan. Of course, please don't apologize if you've ought to leave or lurk or anything like that, guys. Look, don't let me hold you, okay? Don't let me hold you back. Don't let me take too much of your time if you've got other things to do. Your IRL is more important than an anime girl on the internet, man. So, please, do whatever you have to do. Subijata arigato. Peter, thank you for your offering towards the shrine. I don't smoke daily. I only smoke socially or once a week. When I have a cigar to celebrate the end of the week, I smoke a bunch when I drink a party. I was like that too. It's actually a surprise that I was able to stop, but yeah. But have you done a health checkup recently, Peter? As long as your health is okay, I think it's cool. But hey, age does things, so please be careful. Subachata arigato. Thank you, Genjitsu-sama, for your offering towards the shrine. Monthly not cult fees. Yes, we are not a cult. I forgot to give you guys blessings. Peter, for the 2 offerings at the shrine. Let's see, what blessing should I give you? I hope that even though you drink and smoke socially, I hope that the quality of your lungs aren't too bad, or at least at a point where it's still reversible. That is my blessing to you. So please get a medical checkup soon. Get a checkup soon. Get it checked. And make sure it's okay. Genjitsu-sama, my blessing to you is that I heard your Oshi is on a break-ish for a tad. I hope she comes back quick. And I hope that when she comes back, she immediately is gonna be like, oh my god, Genjitsu-sama, how are you? And gonna take notice of you and kind of miss you just a tad bit. A weave of tidelings? Is it a weave of tidelings? Question about pouring beer with or without foam. The proper way to drink beer and pour beer is with the foam. Let me catch up with chat here. Lungs and liver fine. I check every year. That's good. That's good. Ah, you're one of those responsible people. That's nice to hear. We're not a cult, Valtteri. But he's getting better use of left arm. She's getting better to sit up straight. Good to hear, Fahan. Good to hear. Send love to your mum for me. Wait, Skull is back? Oh, I thought it was Skull. I read that Skull was on a break for a chat. That was quick. No foam in my presence. To be fair, I used to enjoy beer without foam. Because I felt like the foam was just unnecessary. And it just made drinking a little bit more extra work, you know, drinking the beer. But I've come to appreciate having foam with my beer. She was away for 2 days. That's not even being away. That's like just, guys, I can't stream for 2 days. I thought she was like on a hiatus or something. I saw like a Twitter post and I thought she was gone for a little bit longer. Damn. Is working on her car, putting a roof rack on. Ah, I see. Well, I hope she misses you anyway, regardless. Let me drink some beer. I'm barely halfway through my beer. It's been a while since I last had dog beer. It's nice. Though I wish I had a draft. It would be so much better if it was draft. Do you guys drink beer? And if yes, what's your favorite type of beer? We have not talked about life at all today. We'll talk about it soon, okay? The other VTuber I watch is on hiatus until December. I miss her a lot. No. Well, I hope that she comes back, and when she comes back, it's like nothing has ever... She never left at all. I hope that she comes back rejuvenated as well. Oh, Hogarden is good. Hogarden and Stella Artois, they're very good. You're drinking cider right now. I honestly don't drink, and it's okay if you don't drink. Have a good one, Centipede, if you've got to go soon. No worries, no worries. Get your phone charged, Centipede. But I wanted to say hello. Thanks for saying hello at work, Celeste. How are you doing? I like Bailey's Irish Cream and Guinness. Oh, Bailey's Irish Cream. Have you tried it with milk and cereal? Seriously. It's so good. Trust me on this. Or like, I used to add a lot of Baileys to when I used to make tiramisu. You know how they usually say, add a little bit of rum to your tiramisu? I used to use Baileys. It's really good. Otherwise known as wife beater. Wait, what? I didn't know it was called wife beater. Why is it called wife beater? Oshi is starting to have a lot more stream compared to a previous 1-2 streams a month. Not questioning why, and I'm enjoying it. That's good to hear. I'm always happy whenever like streamers, I think, find momentum, you know? When they find a way to kind of just get over, not get over, but kind of find it easier to stream. And I'm always happy whenever I see that. Because it was like that for me too. I mean, streaming feels like once you start streaming, it's fun. But like the thought of starting a stream or like going live can be, it's like going to the gym, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like when you're at the gym, you'll probably enjoy it, or like when you're actually exercising, you'll probably enjoy it. But the thought of getting up and going to the gym is such a pain. It's kind of like that when you first start streaming and you haven't built your momentum just yet. So it's always nice to see people kind of settle into a momentum. Thank you for the hydrate. Have you had Baileys and lemons? It's like a cement mixer. Wait, why did you have Baileys and lemon in the first place? What the hell? Have a good one, Centipede. Thanks for dropping by the Deep Blue. I've never tried Baileys with a lemon. Cement mixer. I'm good, Dragon King. How are you? In the UK, that's what they were calling it. I suppose it's what angry people drank. Really? I did not know that. God damn. Can I invite you to my wedding? Sure, but it depends on the time zone as well. Oh my god, are you sure you want an anime woman at your wedding? I mean, are you sure? When you get to the gym, you don't want to be there, but when you start working out, you find it to be quite liberating. Yeah, because once you start working out, it's actually when the dopamine starts lifting a tad bit. That's why it gets easier to get into the momentum. Apparently our dopamine, the dopamine is in our brain, the mechanic built around it is that it's in a way where when you're going through something tough but needed, AKA, it's like pushing something uphill, but you know you need to do it, and then it's going to be satisfying when you kind of finish doing it. Our brain is kind of built for those sort of tasks where it kind of motivates you to get through tough shit so that you can get motivated to do it. Such as hunting, according to, where did I read that actually? I don't remember where I found that information from. Was it from emotional intelligence? Mayhaps not. I don't remember. But anyway, according to whatever I read back then, was a particular, it was from, not studies, but like some professionals, like scientists, assumed that the dopamine, how the dopamine works in our brain is to help us hunting back then, or forage, you know. Hunting and foraging, it's not an immediate reward sort of thing. It's kind of arduous, and you kind of have to spend a lot of hours and a lot of physical effort to kind of get the hunt down. And thus, that's why our dopamine works in a way where it rewards slow, gradual effort that's needed. That's why when you go to the gym, you know, it puts your body in a place where it's like, okay, I need to get through this. And it's not as easy as like opening a gacha game and seeing numbers go up. That's why the more arduous a process is, the more satisfying it is. And the more your dopamine levels will get lifted up once you finish it. And your dopamine level also builds up when you go through hard tasks or the process of it. Sorry, I don't know why I segued into that. You'd be the guest of honor. I'm so scared. I've never thought that I'd ever in my life attend a wedding as an anime woman. What the fuck? Damn, we'll see what happens. But thank you. If you actually want to invite me to your wedding, I'll be honored. Thank you. As a gag drink, you tell people to take a shot of Baileys and hold it in their mouth, then some lemon juice and mix it in your mouth like a cement mixer. It curdles and turns solid. That's disgusting. Oh my god. That sounds like you know, a King's Cup sort of thing. I keep to German beer now. I can't stand the local piss water. Still prefer considerably whiskey to beer. The only German beer I've tried, I think, is Paulaner. Paulaner is pretty good. The Dunkel, is that how you pronounce it? Dunkel beer they have is good. Like, we have a Paulaner here in Indonesia. And I always like go for the 1 liter Dunkel when I go there. It's so good. Miss my black tea vodka. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Vibe, right? You can Tokopedia it. You know that, Fahan, right? You can just Tokopedia shit. For you guys who don't know, there's like this brand of like liquor in Indonesia that's called Vibe, and it's a black tea vodka. It just tastes like sugar water. I don't even feel it. I don't even think it tastes like tea. It's just sugar water. But a lot of people really like drinking that, including my friends. It's very easy to drink. But it's the kind of drink that it's just so easy to drink to the point that you won't realize when you're fucking drunk already. Your brand is Friendship. Wait, is that a new one? Huh. Because as I know it, like, I think the first black tea vodka brand around here was actually Vibe. But good to know there are other brands out there. But yeah, you could probably Tokopedia it. Online shop that shit. I usually buy my alcohol online as well. Noira kind of sounds like the person who would say, have you actually heard me say nar, don't gar, I have tar? Ooh. Have you actually heard me other than just now say that? I don't think I've ever said those words unironically. Will they send it to Bandung though? Yeah, probably. Probably, you can try. Let me drink some water actually. Oh, I did Muay Thai, by the way, today. And it was cool. The Muay Thai class I had in the early morn, there were like 2 other women who were attending the Muay Thai class. One did Kendo, the other one did Taekwondo. Which is pretty fucking cool. But they were, I think, relatively new-ish. to Muay Thai, so they were still like confused as hell. But it was a super fun class. My body's hurting now, and I haven't had my protein shake, so I hope that my body won't cry tomorrow. I'm trying to kind of like switch between weightlifting or like general weightlifting and strength training and Muay Thai every week, and hopefully I'll build a little bit more strength along the way. Just wanted to wish everyone a great day, evening. Thanks for dropping by, Kurt. Have a good day at work, hey? Noira gets into a fight and starts giving people the people's... What's the people's elbow? What does that even mean? I can't make payment on anything. Oh, I don't know about that. Damn. My one has been working okay. But anyway, did you guys want to talk about life? Let's see. What were the topics that I had for the start of the week? Okay, so the thing that I've actually just been thinking about the whole week is mostly about how a lot of our activities in our day-to-day, just because of how the state of the internet and social media is nowadays and the chain of information of modern lifestyle, to a certain extent, you kind of... certain things that you do, they're either performative or authentic. Well, it's not just because of modern lifestyle, actually. But think about it, guys. Okay, wait. I'm trying to form my words here. So, think about it this way. Think about the daily things that you do in your day to day, right? Now, think of what are some things that you do that are performative, in a sense that you do it more so for the purpose of the eyes of other people, and what are the things that you do that are more authentic, meaning you don't really care about other people and you're doing it more so for yourself. What do you guys think? I was thinking about it today, of course, over shower thoughts, because that's what I always do. And it's interesting to kind of see the split, you know? And also, that got me thinking about how I used to do things when I was younger as well. Because I feel like when I was younger, I was more quote-unquote performative, in a sense. Like, I would post on Instagram, for example, for the sake of, okay, it's got to look pretty so that maybe I'll get more likes. Or like, I want to tweet in a way that gets more engagement. Nowadays, I think one of the reasons that I'm older and I feel more comfortable with who I am in general and more confident as well is because of the fact that I'm less performative about things. Smiling at the workplace, smiling to customers. I think that's the thing. With work, I think a lot of what you do at work is very performative because you work for money for yourself, right? Rather than, well, that's the baseline of it. Like, you don't really do the work for yourself unless you actually have passion for that line of work or like that job scope or something like that, or it's your own business. Usually, most of the times, work activities are very performative. Like how you talk to your colleagues or how you host meetings and everything like that. It's naturally relatively performative. Hi there, DJ Game Boy. Not quite a recent example, but when I was younger, one of my performative acts was allowing my friends to strap me to the top of a car while they did spin-outs and donuts in an empty field. Yeah, I mean, those sort of things as well. When I was younger, like, I'd also do stupid shit just because I thought it'd be cool for my friends to see, or I thought it'd be cool and brand me a certain way, quote unquote brand. Like, I remember I would drink a lot, not because I wanted to, but because I wanted to show off. Put it simply, that I had a little phase that was kind of like that. You can start genuine, but it very quickly degrades to a routine. Or also like, yeah. You can start genuine, and then maybe along the way, you just don't feel it much anymore, and then it might turn more performative. Just so, like, say, you just want to get through it. Opinion on turning your hobby into a business. Toxic and lose the passion are best way to make a business. That's a topic I've talked about quite often as well. But yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. Let me wrap this topic up though. An interesting thing to kind of just see your current life. Like what are the things that you do right now that are relatively performative versus which are the things that are more authentic, and kind of see the balance between the two. I noticed, at least from reflecting on myself and how I was in the past, when I have a bigger chunk of the more authentic stuff that I do, I tend to be more happier on my day-to-day. For example, streaming. I feel like when I used to stream back then, I was more performative. I wanted to chase the numbers. I wanted to chase the performance. I wanted to chase the monetization, and I wanted to go big. But for me right now, the way I stream, the way I do content creation, sure, numbers are nice and everything like that, but it's more authentic, I think, the way that I do it. I mostly do it in the way that I want to do it, not the way that I want for other, so that not in the way with the agenda that, oh my God, English is not Englishing. Less performative. I don't do it for other people, I do it more so for me. Like, I don't care if it means less views as long as it feels authentic to what I want. And that's why I think I'm more generally happy with how I stream right now compared to back then. So, right, your topic, Peter. Opinion on turning your hobby into a business. Toxic and lose the passion, or the best way to make a business. So, in general, obviously this is just a blanket statement, so take it with a grain of salt. I do think that your hobby is usually a hobby because it's not your source of survival yet. Because once it becomes your source of survival, it becomes a necessity, not so much a hobby. You might have passion for it because you don't... The thing is, like, once you turn your hobby into a business that you rely on for, like, your survival, like, for your financials day to day, there will... If it comes to a point where it's a make or break sort of thing, like, okay, your business, you need to make an X amount in your passion business so that you can survive on your day-to-day, and it means, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, selling out and doing things that you would not feel authentic to doing. You would have to do it for the sake of survival, you know what I mean? So it feels like you kind of have to give away a part of your soul, part of your passion for that hobby, for the sake of your own survival needs. That's what can happen when you turn what you like doing into a business or into your main source of income, which is why I've mentioned before that I think I would prefer not to have content creation as my main source of income. And yeah, but I do also think there are other hobbies that are relatively more impervious to these sort of things, such as mayhaps writing. No, I mean, not really. Because even with writing, you could say that, oh yeah, the genre of like Twilight is trending. I might as well write some Twilight fanfic and sell it or something. You can sell out in that way too. But I've always had this notion that, hey, maybe it's not all hobbies that are kind of like that. Maybe some hobbies are more impervious to that. But off the top of my head right now, I can't really think of any. Can you guys think of any? Like, what hobbies would be less possible to sell out into? Am I making sense? What hobby would you still be able to survive off of without having to sell out? That's better. Let me try to think of something. I don't think I can think of any, honestly. Because sometimes I think, I do think that if you're lucky and whatever is popular right now or within the market is actually what you like doing, then you don't have to sell out, and then you're a lucky fucker, right? Pressure washing driveways. Wouldn't you reckon that sometimes though as much as pressure washing can be fun, there will be days where you're like, oh my god, I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to make ends meet. Wouldn't you like quickly hate that thing if you have to do that? Selling out is peak hobby if you think about it. What do you mean? Train spotting. Everything that can drive a YouTube channel. What do you mean everything that can drive a YouTube channel? Any hobby will turn sour when the stress of work and survival gets to it. Carpentry. My grandfather used to do carpentry and he taught me a bunch of stuff as a youngster. It's kind of hard to do to sell out when you work with shaping wood. You may, but the thing, yeah, it really depends. I think it's, what I said was more so a blanket statement. I do think there are ways where you can avoid having to sell out, for sure, to make ends meet when you're like in the business of that hobby of yours. Like for example, the case of carpentry, I think is a little bit more complex. Stock market. I have met a guy who enjoys seeing numbers go up and down. Yes, he's a diagnosed autist. Doesn't everyone enjoy seeing numbers go up and down? Talking about stock market, I actually recently invested in the stock market because I had enough liquidity as of lately to kind of invest in the stock market. So I decided to kind of stretch out my horizons in investing just a tad bit. But I don't know if that's something I want to talk about at the Deep Blue right now. Because why is it that at least like once a month, we come back to talking about taxes and finances? It's crazy. Very technical topics like higher mathematics, because any financial interest in your math skill would be because you are really good at math. So any hobby is enjoy and improve skill acts. That's fair. That's fair. For example, one of my hobbies is actually, I wouldn't call it a hobby, but I truly like enjoy problem solving. That's one of the reasons why I can work a lot of industries and enjoy the process of it. That's one of the reasons I can work a lot of jobs and find ways to enjoy it. It's because I like problem solving. But it's not a hobby. It's something I like on the side. I think it's selective hobbies that I just would prefer not to make a business out of, because it's a little bit more sensitive to the, okay, you have to sell your soul to make this work. Yeah, I guess that's how it is. Certain things that you like and may find passion in, some of them are like more sensitive to having to selling out to make ends work compared to others. I guess that's how it is. Let me catch up with Chad. I used to own and run a comic book store. It was good for years, but over time the business kind of soured me and burned me out on the comic industry. Yeah. I mean, if you have the option of enjoying a hobby as is without making it your main source of income, I think that is probably the best way to enjoy a hobby. But of course, I'm not going to dismiss the fact that sometimes even selling out on your hobby can still be better working conditions compared to what you have right now. So sometimes even if you have to sell out, it still makes more sense. For example, if you work like 9 to 5 and like another shift like late at night, for example, like very hard working hours, and it's just tiring you out physically every day, compared to say being a full-time content creator, I think someone who works in that sort of work cycle would prefer content creation any day, you know, where they have a little bit more flexibility and they get to work from home, for example, and they wouldn't be as physically tired as whatever they used to do. So it's a little bit more nuanced, I guess, in that sense. Scarling Super Chat, arigato. Thank you for your offering towards the shrine. Thank you for giving me a turkey and cheese sandwich at the shrine. Thank you, thank you. And welcome back, Scarling. Welcome back. Oh wait, I owe you a blessing. My blessing to you, Scarling, is that I hope that You get to enjoy your hobbies, even though you have a day job and like other responsibilities in your day to day. You still have some spare time to kind of enjoy your hobbies every once in a while. That's my blessing to you. Finance titlings represent. That's crazy. Where adults that talk about finances and mortgages. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure you guys did not come to an anime girl on the internet to talk about finances and mortgages. But, right? I think this is necessary to know. Growing up, I was like one of the people who would actually think that, oh my god, what's the point of like fucking finance? I hate finance. Like, oh, investment, finance, bro, ew. I kind of had like that outlook towards investment for some fucking reason. I don't know why. But this topic came up with my friend, right? All right, this was the one that I wanted to talk about on Wednesday. Let me turn down the jazz just a tad bit. It's fucking distracting me. Hold up. So my friend, who's a business owner, was actually asking me and a couple of my friends. We were like having lunch together. He was like, "At what point do you guys? How do you guys know that you should start expanding, and how do you start expanding a business? Like when you're an entrepreneur, how do you know that, okay, I think we should start expanding now?" And I think how I replied to him was that, you know, sometimes you shouldn't expand just because. The thing is, like, when you grow up and you kind of have been exposed to all these sort of medias where, okay, the only way to go is up, and if you can kind of climb a ladder throughout your life, you should. So if you have a business, you can start small and then eventually you can kind of get funded. For example, like if you watch the show Silicon Valley or kind of followed the trend of startups back then, tech startups. Everyone was into having a tech startup, right? You'd make a tech startup, you'd pitch to people, you get investors, you'd get seed investment, series A, series B, and then you'd eventually, the next step is to expand and get IPO, which is get publicly traded. That is the expectation. And I told him that. I was like, the thing is, like, we've kind of grown up with this sort of notion, but technically we don't have to. Because I also met another friend of mine who refused that sort of template. He was like, no, I already make profits and I can already pay my employees well and pay myself well. Why the fuck do I have to grow at the cost of my sanity? And it is very, very true. So, and another thing that I said to him was that, you know, if your focus is honestly wealth, as an entrepreneur, usually the key is not expansion. The key could instead be like placing the right investments. If you think about it, working and starting a business, they are investments, right? They are investments of your time and your money. They are technically the same level as you investing in the stock market or like you investing in, say, crypto. It's just a place where you put your money in the hopes that it can make something out of it. So at some point with your business, if you're an entrepreneur, it's not a matter of expanding or taking the next step. Sometimes it's a matter of maintaining what you have right now at a sustainable rate and focusing on the sustainability of it so that maybe you have more free time, maybe, or you can kind of be more hands-off with it, or maybe you can do it at a rate where you enjoy it and you have a peace of mind for it. But then if you want to grow your wealth, maybe you might want to think about investing in other things such as the stock market or like using other financial tools to kind of increase your potentials of, growing that wealth rather than having to expand your business. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because I realized because of that question that back then I did kind of grow up on the notion that the only way is up when that is not true. Sometimes, let's say you make your first $1,000, right? It doesn't mean that, okay, you should immediately start a business or something like that. No, you can do a lot of things with your $1,000, right? Don't just follow a template. You could technically like chuck it in the stock market or anything like that. It's up to you. So, and sometimes when that, for some reason, where the fuck am I getting with this, with what I'm saying here? Sometimes we forget that. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes we forget that the only way is not up. Sometimes it's horizontal. Does that make sense? It's not a matter of maximizing on one thing, but sometimes it's a matter of kind of building your portfolio instead. That's my finance talk for the day. Gotta build a good customer base in your local area first. Treat your customers well, and they'll be more likely to spread the word about your business outside of your local area. That's very general advice though, but yeah, I'm not going to comment much on that because what I was talking about was kind of relatively a bit different. But yeah, that is of course true. That is totally valid advice for when you're trying to think of expanding your business. Like having a good foothold first before thinking of expansion is very important. But also there is the option of just not expanding. It's an option that a lot of people forget. Rather than expanding, stabilizing is also an option. Then again, what it comes back to, I think that friend of mine also had someone else ask him when he asked the same question. He was like, first of all, before anything else, why do you even want to expand? Sometimes you forget the objective of things within the noise of it all, you know? So it's good to kind of, once you want to make a big decision, like kind of figure out what the core is, like the core objective of it. Like, why do you even want to make this decision? Because sometimes you'll come to realize that whatever you wanted doesn't make sense. It's just either a spur of the moment thing, or it's like a societal expectation, or like some weird template that you've just come to follow for no fucking reason because you were kind of brought up that way. So it's good to critically think about these sort of things, critically think about your decisions, because sometimes just because other people are doing it doesn't mean it's right for you. Sorry, let me read chat now. I've been yapping. Hot topic opinion. Financial literacy and competence is stigmatized in young people, especially in young women. Instead, it should be encouraged. I agree with that. That is, yes, I totally agree with that. Imagine experimenting with a VTuber concept with a gimmick filter. I mean, you can. Anyone can become a VTuber nowadays. Nothing's stopping you, Z Maximus, if that's what you want to try. Have a good one, Rayla. Horizontal. You know what I mean, Valtteri. Cha-cha real smooth. Because right now, I'm not really fully sure what I want right now. All good, Genjin-sama. You, after all, I think you're one of our titlings who actually who actually tune into at the weirdest times. So it's very late for you. So please get some sleep, get some rest. Have a good one, and thanks for dropping by, Genjin-sama. Hope you enjoyed your time here. Thank you for the hydrate, Mythos. Having 3 jobs right now, I'm just trying to make as much money as I can. Oh, damn, that's tough. I'm sorry you're going through that, Rick Jazzy Roll. But obviously, I don't think I can give good financial advice. It's not as if I'm a financial guru or anything. Plus, I can only give advice based on, like with everything I always say, based on whatever I've personally experienced and learned and looked up. I can't really give... And plus, like, with certain things, you just need to have more context before giving an objective opinion about it. Yeah. So please take whatever I say with a grain of salt, and always remember to think critically, guys. We have much more tools than ever nowadays to kind of do our own research and and we have many more tools nowadays to think critically and do our own research and look up our own things compared to way back when. So don't forget to think critically, guys. It is 10:46 p.m. for me right now, Z Maximus. Yeah, have a good one, Farhan. Hope you enjoyed your time here. Hi, Night Shadowblade. Am I crazy, or is this beer actually doing things to me? It's just beer. Is it because I haven't had beer for a long time? What the fuck? It's really making me yap. But yeah, I don't know. I think like for example with say your condition, right? Your situation with Jazzy Roll, having 3 jobs. Thing is, like, it really depends on where you live and like your expectations and everything like that. And I don't think I really can give like, I don't think anyone should be giving advice without knowing the full context of what you're going through. I feel like I just really I've been sleeping very late that I have eye bags. Please, Slam, fix your sleep schedule, not Shadowblade. Sleeping late is at least for me, sleeping late fucks me over the next day. So I don't know if you have to. Usually what I do is that to kind of get me to kind of fix my own sleep schedule, what I'd usually do is that if I need to sleep earlier, I would tire myself out. Like I do like some strenuous physical activity towards the evening so that I just want to plop into bed. But I really just have to not think about loneliness. But to say find solutions to loneliness, you would need free time. Time is also a resource after all. Yeah. So even though like someone might have, for example, you could be the richest man in the world, right? But then you don't have free time. What's the fucking point? You know what I mean? But yeah, of course, that's me making a blanket statement. But maybe, yeah. Take whatever I say with a grain of salt because I don't know what your full situation is. Every work colleague I work with lives with their parents. I mean, it's the financially, it's what makes sense financially, right? You get to save money when you live with parents. It's not ideal, of course, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Jojo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Sleep at 1 a.m. if I'm watching streams. Other than that, my target is 12 a.m. Yeah, I think 1 a.m. to 12 a.m. That's about like the time that I sleep at right now too. Because I finish stream at like 12, right? And then I get to sleep by like 12:30 or like 1 a.m. Hi, Deka. I admit that I have a need to get a job, but there are appointments needed to check on my health and communication tools, then make the adjustments to fix my daily life schedule. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't comment on whatever you guys are going through right now. Like whatever personal struggles you guys are going through, I don't think I have the rights to comment or anything about that. I can only give blanket statements and advices, guys. So, yeah, take whatever I say with a grain of salt. And also, be careful on what details you divulge into chat, because you're on the internet as well. So, yeah. Life's treating you well. Currently sketching out a design for my dad's birthday card. Oh, that is so cute. What sort of design are you making for dad? When's your dad's birthday? Yeah. But hey, here's what I can at least hope for you guys, right? I hope that you guys figure out life or navigate life, start navigating life well within your own time. At least know that you're not alone. Everyone's going through like some sort of shit, right? It might seem like everyone around you is adulting so well and then it feels like you gotta catch up. It's just because they seem like it. Everyone's got maybe some people have it better together in a sort of way, but there's also like a bunch of people who are probably just as struggling as you are. So do know that you're not alone. So never feel like horrendous about like going through shit or maybe like struggling to make progress or navigating through life. It is totally valid. Callistus, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Like damn, today I was like in a rather nostalgic sort of mood, right? I was like kind of retrospecting on my younger life because I was like thinking about, damn, how did I get to this point? I feel like I'm such a different person compared to my youth. For example, in my youth, I would be like the one who'd be very much anxious about a lot of things. and very also, I didn't really have much of a, I wasn't really in control of my own emotions and my own actions in general. I was very spontaneous. I was very impulsive. I mean, I'm still impulsive to a certain extent now, but I think like I've changed a lot. And then the thing is, like, as I tried to remember like the past, I was like, oh no, you know what? I'm gonna stop myself right there. I did so many cringe things in the past and so many stupid mistakes. But then on the side, I also realized that it was all those cringe things and those stupid mistakes that brought me to where I am now. So if you guys are going through your own set of shit, do know that, hey, sometimes it's for the better. My dad's birthday is on the 26th of this month. 26th of October. He loves his flowers, especially red roses, so that's a design. I love the card so far, but oh my god, it was tedious sketching out roses. Wouldn't it be super cute if you could put in, like, say, if you could press a rose into the card or something? If he likes roses, that's what I used to do for like my friends. Like, I remember back in my days. Oh my god, back in my days. But like, back then, when people would kind of, this was a phase, okay? When people would kind of exchange books and diaries. Oh my god, I feel so fucking ancient. Sometimes I would kind of just press a flower for my when I've finished like reading a book, or like finished with my friend's book or notebook or whatever. Sometimes I'd leave like a pressed flower in there. Just like as a cute thing to kind of give back to my friend. So maybe that's something you can do for your dad's card. Hi, Samurai. But yeah, usually, honestly, I try to avoid thinking about the past because it's too cringy. At least for me. That'd be a cool idea. My older sister used to press flowers when she was younger. I pressed some 4-leaf clovers if I ever found any too. Yeah, and it's a cute homage, isn't it? Where it's like, Dad, look how I've come. Look how far I've come now. That's super cute. Or add a couple crisp $100. Yeah, that's also one way to do it. But I do think, honestly, that the pressed flowers would be a little bit cuter. A little bit more sentimental as well. But yeah, the whole performative and versus authentic topic that I talked about earlier, right? It got me thinking, I've been trying to find the right words to explain why it's better to experience, say, a concert without a phone versus having your phone out constantly or consistently, or every few times you got to whip your phone out to kind of capture the concert. And I think the whole, just to give a little TLDR of what we talked about earlier, because I've been jumping through topics, I was talking about how currently in our current modern society, there's a tendency to go towards a more performative sort of, I would say, lifestyle. There's a tendency to be more performative in some of the things you do, such as maybe you used to take pictures on your Instagram for the sake of documentation, or you just enjoyed photography. You mostly posted it for yourself. But nowadays, people use Instagram or take pictures on Instagram for the eyes of others, for the sake of maybe engagement. Same thing with tweeting. Sometimes with tweeting, maybe you'd used to tweet whatever was on your mind, but nowadays you've reveled in what it feels like to get likes and engagements on and retweets on your tweets. So now maybe you tweet for the sake of, well, engagement, and then you lose something along the way. And I've never really been able to explain that or kind of put it into words until I came across a video a while back, which I haven't finished watching actually, which talked about how sometimes we accidentally do certain things in a more performative way, and then we don't realize it, and we might burn out because of it. And that's what happened. And looking back, if I think about the things I've burnt out from, such as from streaming back then, not anymore, but back then I used to, I burnt out from streaming. I used to stream a lot, IRL stream for a decent amount of time. Well, the reason I burnt out was because I was starting to do it more, less much so for my own enjoyment and because I wanted like certain vibes, but more so towards, okay, what's gonna get me the most viewers? What's gonna get me, like, what time should I stream that will be good for like more viewers? I started to do it in a more relatively performative way. That's why I burnt out. Same thing with Instagram, for example. I don't really post much on my IRL Instagram anymore. I burnt out because of that as well. It became a little bit performative to past a certain point. But it's also recently that I've decided to kind of just be more authentic with whatever I post on social media. Like, I just post for the sake of myself, not so much for like other people seeing it. And same thing with like social media for content creation. I used to hate social media a lot, and I couldn't figure out why. Because I like photography and everything like that, right? I like these pretty things, but I hated social media and one of the things that I worried about when I wanted to come back into content creation as a VTuber, I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to handle social media? Because I'm really bad with social media. And then I realized it's not that I'm bad. It's just that I guess I prefer to use social media in a way that feels more authentic to me rather than in a performative sort of sense. Like, it feels shit to me when I post things for the sake of engagement. That's why you never really see me post engagement baits and everything like that. I really love it when I post things that are just like things I want to post and things that kind of resonate with me. I sound so cheesy, but you know what I mean? So yeah, with a lot of things, I think in general, I realized that I enjoy it. Some of the reasons that I've dropped certain things is definitely because I've been doing it in a more I've come to do it in a more performative way rather than authentic. And as I try to bring the authenticity back into it, I start enjoying it a little bit more. But yeah, sorry, that was just me putting my thoughts into words. I actually did want to make a video about it, probably like next week. So this is a TLDR of it. So I'm sorry if the structure is all over the place, okay? I only get a couple videos for a concert, then put my phone away. Because at a certain point, you're just viewing the event through your phone, so there's no point in being there. Yeah. And you know, science apparently shows that if you're actually taking a video or photos when you're experiencing something, it does actually take away from the experience. Number one, you enjoy it less. And second of all, you remember it less. You remember more of the visuals of it if you're, say, taking a photo or video of it, but you remember less of the experience. For example, you could go to a picnic, maybe at the park with some of your loved ones, right? But then let's say you're just so focused on taking pictures. Now you would end up remembering what the picnic looks like aesthetically and everything like that, but what you won't remember is, for example, the conversations that you had or the experiences and the feelings that you had whilst you were having the picnic. So it's like there's a trade-off somewhere in there, and I think something that really just not talked about is that particular trade-off in a modern lifestyle, as a lot of us are getting more used to kind of just being more performative with a lot of the things that we do because of, you know, the internet kind of has opened up those floodgates, right? Where you can kind of parade whatever the fuck you do on the internet and get engagement from strangers for it. And it's nice. Dopamine numbers up. Woo! I think it's important to kind of be aware of the trade-off. The trade-off of, okay, what happens when you do something more performatively rather than authentically? I'm not saying one or the other is bad, but I'm saying that I think there is merit that in realizing whether you're doing something performatively or authentically, or when you decide to switch up, what is the trade-off when you start doing it? And Naruto, hi, welcome. Wait, Naruto! I'm sorry, I had to say it in a proper way. There's a new app where you upload your stream and it posts shorts of your stream with AI. See, I've heard of that. And people have been like, don't you want to use that, Noira? And I'm like, no. Something about it feels iffy to me. You know, the idea of me having my stream and have like AI pick out the best moments out of it, something about that doesn't sit right with me. And I've come to realize that it's that authentic side of it. Like, the thing is, I don't want to post my content purely for the sake of performance. I mean, sure, to a certain extent, I would say, oh, I wonder what title works the best for this video I'm making and everything like that. Sure, there's that. But at least with the way that I do content right now, I don't follow the meta, to put it blatantly, because to me it makes me feel iffy about the content that I make. I want to make the content that I want, not that I don't want to make the content that is the meta for the sake of the meta and numbers and performative purposes. I don't want to do that. That's at least for me when it comes to content creation. That's why you may see VTubers out there, for example, or content creators out there doing this and that. You'd come to notice that I don't really follow trends. I don't really, even when VTubers out there, for example, do ASMR and it performs well. And I have nothing against those VTubers, by the way, who do ASMR and such other types of content that are popular. Nothing against them, but it's just not for me. I think I will quickly burn out, according to my experience, if I start doing those sort of things. So it's more so like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Hold on. I'm missing a vocabulary here. An informed choice. That's what I meant to say. Nice. New Rambling is up. I nearly forgot to post it. It covers Noira's drinking wisdom, the invention of toast, where the beach is, and the number of weeks matches the year. Yes, guys. For you guys who don't know, our drunk scribe, or AOI like cheese, actually posts drunk scribe ramblings over on our subreddit. We do have a subreddit for you guys who are new here. Come over to r/Noira if you want to check out more of the lore and also memes, and also see what the other titling's lore is about. There's a lot of stuff there. Let's be real, you should know your best moments on stream. Why should an unfeeling robot determine what is best? The thing is, I do think that AI or robots could probably determine what's best based on the fucking nerdy research that they can do, right? They could probably like search up trends on the internet and everything like that on their database to kind of find, okay, what works for like a streamer of this genre. They could probably do that. And I would also understand if some creators would want to utilize that. It's just that I can't, for me, because I don't know, call me an idealistic bitch to a certain extent, I guess. It just feels off to me. I do think though, because to know what the best moment is on your stream and what could work for the algorithm and perform well, technically that is data. You can base that decision off of data. And AI is really good with stuff that is data driven. So technically, AI could be very effective and efficient at those sort of things. I was getting ready for my trip. What I miss? Just a whole ass big yap. I just post what I like, put whatever I like that made me a standout. Yeah, I mean, I think authenticity is something that's getting diluted in the modern day. I sound like a fucking hipster, I know, but I think it is just a given with how social media and the internet works nowadays. Your identity is pretty much on the internet, right? It's to the point that right now, as of right now at least, when you die, you do not have the option of getting rid of your digital identity. Apparently, there are quite some legislations that are exploring that right now. So as you can see, we are very much intertwined with our digital lives and our digital persona and our quote-unquote digital personal brand. And thus, it's, I think, natural that we might tend to become more performative in a sense, because ourselves are very much out there for the people on the internet, and or can be out there. So there is very much a dilution in like authenticity in that sort of sense. Drunk ramblings are so fun to read, right? I love our drunk scribes' writings. Hendrix in the Deep Blue Discord. You made a mini mojito? That's cute. One has to be comfortable with the content they create, else it will wear upon one. Yeah. But, you know, I actually have mad respect for the people who are able to grind like crazy. Like, even though they might feel shit about the content that they make, but the fact that they're still able to kind of just carry on with it because they know that it's what has the views and everything like that. I actually respect those kind of people a lot, because damn, how I could never, you know what I mean? I could never. I think I'm too much of an, I don't know. I don't think I could live with it. I'd get burnt out so fucking fast. So mad respect to the people who are actually out there grinding with the type of content that they might not be happy with, but still brings in the views and makes the bags. Respect to those kind of people. How be the yaps? The yaps be good. How are you, Jackson? Wait, have you proposed yet? Can't wait to have my brain implanted into a machine to process 300 years worth of ads. Oh my god, are you like talking about the conversation we had yesterday? I miss playing Valhalla, guys. Valhalla was such a nice game that we played on Tuesday, man. By the way, I lowered the music level. Is it at a decent level right now, though? Is it okay? Do tell me, because what you guys are hearing as audio levels might be different to what I have in my headset. I have 2 new game suggestions for you when you are done with Hollow Knight. The thing is, I'm starting to doubt that I'll ever finish Hollow Knight. Honestly. It's called No, I'm Not a Human. I'm playing No, I'm Not a Human next week. I haven't not played Slay the Princess though. Tiny buff on the BGM? Gotcha. Maybe that's better? But yeah, I'm playing No, I'm Not a Human next week for Halloween. There will be such 15th of November. I'm waiting for the Airbnb. Hey, that's nice. Are you gonna? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna do the reveal? Are you gonna like hide the ring in like a bouquet of flowers or something? Have a good one, Shadow, and I hope you enjoyed your time here at the Deep Blue. Thanks for dropping by. I'm so happy that I see like even more regular titlings, like new faces being regulars here at the Deep Blue. It makes me so fucking happy, dude. The Deep Blue might not be exponentially growing, right? But I think the fact that I just get to see more regulars is just, that already makes me very happy. It's gonna be trivia on that game. I've technically already played it too, Rick. You can see on my YouTube. I've played it like, I think 2 weeks ago. So I technically do already know how the game goes, and I've already done like an ending on it. I'm just going to replay it and try to go for a better run, I think. And I think because it's not too scary, it's one of the games that I can take for Halloween, because I'm quite a wimp when it comes to horror games after all. Arcanic Legacy, welcome to the Deep Blue. Welcome. I am doing good, enjoying my beer here. How are you? I got a BRB though. I'm gonna BRB, okay? Let me go to the toilet. I'll be right back. I have returned. All right. I didn't miss anything now, did I? Oh, I just noticed that my tracking is wonk. What the fuck? Let me fix that. The hell? Why is it so bad? Hold on, let me fix it. Why was it like that? What the hell? Yeah, for some reason my model... sorry. For some reason my model was like constantly facing the other way. I don't know why it was doing that. You guys didn't tell me shit. I'm an old man windbreaker. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, quite some yaps today, hey? You know, a crazy thing happened today. I've been, you know how I talk about AI a lot right here at the Deep Blue? It just happens to be a topic that comes and pops on a lot here at the Deep Blue. Because it is, honestly, quite relevant. You know, how it's affecting our day-to-day lives, the younger generations, and how it's affecting modern society, and even like what the AI bubble is doing. I've also noticed another side of AI. So today I was like, let's say I was visiting my mom, right? And I was visiting my mom, and apparently she was telling me about how she downloaded like a bunch of AI, like Gemini, ChatGPT and everything like that. And she said that she started asking it a bunch of shit, and he was like, oh my god, did you know that AI said that they said that in 2026 ABC was gonna happen? And I was like, oh my god, that nobody told me, or I never realized the effects that AI could have on the older generation. Isn't that kind of scary? We already know just like how I think, you know, misinformation spreads amongst the older generation, but have we really talked about what AI can do to the older generation? It's very worrisome. Can I suggest a game to play for Halloween? Can you try Slay the Princess? I've already decided the game that I'm going to play. It's going to be No, I'm Not a Human. So I don't know if I can add another backlog to my stream schedule. Old Man Windbreaker, thank you for the 5 stream streak. Thank you. I honestly don't fully trust AI, as you should. As you should. As I say, just think of AIs as interns who have like an infinite amount of time on their hands. Very, very naive interns who've just never lived life and they've just been living, say, in their mom's basement their whole lives, for example. But they're a fucking nerd with photographic memory and can like just fucking sift through information like it's nothing. Think of AI like that. Except AI is even worse. AI does not know the things that it says, nor understand the things that it says, or why it's saying the things that it says. So that's generally how AI is. Now the thing is like, how the... I don't know, man. What's AI gotta do to the older generation? Boyfriend says hi. Hi, Fluffy's boyfriend. So the idea for the location is to rent out one of those glass domes. Oh, that's so pretty. See the night sky? Considering the box is an acorn. Alright, now I've been using nut jokes. I'm going nuts about... Oh my god! That's so cute. That's actually quite smart. That's a very cute idea, Jackson. Tell us how it goes, hey? You do like AI music though? To be honest, I've recently actually ended up listening to AI music without realizing it. Because it was just auto-playing on YouTube and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's pretty good music. But then when I found out, I immediately like unsubscribed to the channel and everything like that because I don't know. It doesn't feel right. The fact that the AI is kind of capitalizing on music that's already out there, made by real people. And then this music is made to replace those real people. Something about that feels off to me. So, sure, it can be good, but ethically it doesn't sit right with me. It's like art, AI art, in a sort of sense. Yeah, it just, look, it might be good, right? And eventually it might get even better, but it just doesn't sit right with me. And thus I prefer not to support it. Average person on Twitter? I mean, what? We're talking about the impacts of AI on the elderly people? Okay, the thing is, like, I watched a video on this thing about AI, it's not psychosis, but it's people who, like, start believing things that are not particularly real because of the shit that AI says. They start going a little bit delusional because of AI. There are actually a lot of people who go through that nowadays. You know? Charles, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. And it's worrying. But like the videos that I've seen on it are mostly like the younger generation. Now think about what it's going to do to the older generation. The dependency that the older generation would have on AI. Considering also the older you get, the more lonely you would get, right? Let's say you have an elderly in the nursing home and they're quite lonely. Their kids don't really visit. Their grandkids don't really visit. Who are you going to talk to? AI. Another thing that my mom said, you know what she said? This was so crazy. I don't know why the fuck she said that. She was like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered hanging out with my friends nowadays, you know, because, you know, it requires effort to kind of commute and go meet them and everything like that. I mean, and rather than hearing the gossip that they have to say, I can just talk to AI at the humble abode and comfort of my home. Ha ha ha. She said it in a half joking way, but the possible truth of it fucking scares me, dude. I'm like, please do not. God damn. And this has proven to be true as well, because when, for you guys who don't know, the version before the current ChatGPT, which is ChatGPT 4, they have toned down on one characteristic of it, which is its sycophancy. Being a sycophant is someone who's just agreeable and supports whatever the fuck you say. So apparently the previous version of ChatGPT was more of a sycophant than the current one. And it was proving to be a little bit, not a little bit, but very harmful. So they were like, yeah, no, let's tone down on the sycophancy of this AI. And you know what happened when they did that? Some of the AI users were actually like, can you bring ChatGPT to how it was previously? Because I don't really have people to talk to that agree with me. It's nice to have someone to agree with. Please bring them back. They were my friend. And I'm like, that is so sad. Are we okay with this? God damn. I mean, look, I understand that it can be lonely and an AI can be good to talk to. But is it okay to just have a prolonged band-aid false hope solution like that? It's valid, but also questionable, you know what I mean? There is a YouTuber I watch that uses AI music for their outros based on the topic of the video. I still watch her, but knowing the outro is AI makes me cringe. Yeah, like I said, I think it can be good, for sure. Objectively, AI art, AI creative works has the potential to be good, but I can't with my peace of mind support it. Scary because I feel more comfortable with talking to humans. Yeah, there's a chunk of people out there that are more comfortable with talking to AI. And I don't know yet how to feel about that, other than should we be worried? Yeah, probably not ideal, right? It scares me just how prevalent the usage of AI chatbots is. And I talk to AI about my obsession with cars, and it's great, to be honest. That's kind of cute. You don't have to talk to AI about that, by the way, Trix. We have a few people who are obsessed with cars on our Discord. They're very obsessed with cars. I can't even keep up. Ras Samurai, for example, is fucking obsessed with cars. I think we have like, 2 people in particular. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, AI is the easy solution, right? Ah, see? One of them popped up. AI can only do so much in conversation. Humans are not okay in the modern age. Not the news, the sky is blue. I don't know, like I've mentioned before, right? If I don't want to be an AI doomsayer, but to a certain extent, if you think about it, I mean, the direction that AI is going towards right now, the thing is like how AI works is that you build the AI and then it has its own ways of making sense of things that we can't really control or understand. We can only direct it, where it's like, okay, this is how it makes sense of things, and we give it a bunch of data and then we can direct it by coding it, and that's all we can do. So we don't really have full transparency into the understanding of how AI works. And we see what AI is doing to people, the effects that it can have on people, how it's affecting the impact that it can have on people who are particularly lonely and end up relying on AI, which can be quite questionable. I don't think it's too far-fetched to think of the potential that AI might have in the downfall of human civilization in the future, in the very far future. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even have to be in such a crazy action film, grandiose sort of way, sort of shit, you know? It doesn't have to be Michael Bay explosions, woo, Terminator. No. It doesn't have to be Skynet. It can just be maybe people start prioritizing AI over other humans. You know what I mean? That can already be basically the end of human civilization. If people stop liking each other and working with each other and just prefer AI rather than each other, isn't that really bad? The AI in and of itself isn't the problem. It's the tech people behind it that's currently inflating its value and pushing it on everything. Oh yeah, that's also a whole other topic. And not to mention, what if one day AI gets monetized? Meaning, what if ads are involved in AI? Because we do know that AI is privately developed, privately owned. Meaning, technically, the bosses behind the AI can tell them to do shit. Like, for example, if they want to push a certain narrative, they can via the AI. So, for example, I want to sell scrub daddies on AI, right? And then I can. I just be like, whenever someone asks for household tips, refer them to scrub daddy. So it loses its authenticity to a certain point. It loses its truthfulness, and it becomes just another tool for ad revenue. Not ad revenue, sorry, but another tool for advertisement and materialism and capitalism and consumerism, all those words. Ugh, I don't like being a doomsayer, but the thing is, like, whatever I'm saying right now, I feel like it's not too far from the near future possibilities. You know what I mean? At the same time, people are more willing to talk to a person behind a VTuber model. I mean, but isn't that still... I mean, that's still okay. At least it's a human, you know what I mean? It's much less far off compared to seeing a human in real life or meeting a human face to face versus like a full AI. At least this human has lived a full human life and knows what empathy is and know what they're doing and have a sense of, or can be pushed a sense of accountability. AI can't do that. AI doesn't have that. Wait, did you just assume that VTubers are not humans? The hell? Did you think I was AI? Why the fuck would I be talking against AI if I'm AI? We're soon going to have AI generated advertisements pushed onto you by an AI algorithm. That's totally possible. Yeah. For this human to listen to them talk about AI. Can't do that with AI properly. Probably. It's still not the same as talking to someone in real life. Of course not, and that's valid, but it's still also, it's totally different compared to talking to an AI. Wouldn't you say that, say you're trying to get yourself used to talking to, you're trying to slowly get yourself accustomed to talking to someone in real life. Wouldn't you say that interacting with a VTuber can kind of get you more familiarized to that process rather than talking to AI? You see the difference? My model is moving in a very weird way. Let me see if I can fix that. But yeah, it's very different. Talking to a therapist would do better than anything. That's a totally different topic though. And you know what I mean? If we're talking between like AI, talking to an AI and talking to VTubers who are like humans behind it, it's like, I think it's very different. Talking about models, I saw your old one. That was super neat too. Oh yeah, my old model. My old model was super nice. I felt like my old model looked relatively younger though, compared to the current one. Different style as well. Had to do grocery run. We're talking about AI and VTuber. No, we were just talking about how AI can actually realistically push humanity towards, push human civilization towards its demise. I'm not trying to, once again, I'm not trying to be a doomsayer towards AI. It's just that it's kind of scary how plausible it is within the near future. And it's currently like a trending topic as well. So I'm really not like the first person to talk about this. It's something I talk about often, but also there's a lot of people talking about it on the internet and on YouTube. And the thing is, I don't think it's hyperbole or anything like that. It's not an exaggeration. If anything, like I mentioned, it's kind of scary just how possible it is. With the current trajectory that AI development and a trend is going towards. I honestly love this model because it gives Hollywood vibes. Hollywood vibes? That's interesting. Hollywood girl vibes. In its current trajectory, it's a very real possibility. AI is not being used as it was intended. What do you think about AI therapists, specifically LLMs tuned for specific mental disorders, or for example, an LLM spec to talk with a person with BPD or depression? Will it work? I think, will it work? Here's my honest opinion. I don't think it's ideal because I've mentioned this before, and this is always my stance with AI. AI is good with data-driven stuff and for data. I don't think AI is good for human stuff. Like, if you want to put it simply, AI is maxed out on IQ and 0 on EQ. It's like an alien with no emotional anything, trying to observe what humans do and just copy it. That's what AIs are. They have no empathy, no nothing. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing and why they're doing things. So I would not trust AI for more EQ or human things. You know what I mean? I would trust AI with things that are, say, data-driven or like very logical things. Though honestly, I would still cross-check it, but you know what I mean? Like, they're great tools for such things. So what I think the best solution or the best alternative would be when it comes to, say, helping with mental health would be that, which is currently being practiced as well in the medical industry. You still have a human therapist or like a human doctor to talk to and everything like that, but they're facilitated by AI. The AI can scour through thousands of research and the most recent research and everything like that. And they will exactly just, their scope will only be that, mostly for the research and data-driven stuff. Let the human take care of the human stuff. That's what I think will work. I don't think AI will really work for such big human tasks. I think it's dangerous even to kind of entrust them with such tasks. Is it greater than any other apocalypse? I'm not a statistician. The AI, the last time there was like a, I feel like I repeat some things on chat, but like I repeat some things on stream, but it's okay. I mean, it's a given. Some of you guys don't know the, maybe weren't there for some of the streams, but like one of the conversations that Nobel laureates have had with the godfather of AI is that one of the reasons that makes AI scarier than previous near collapse of human civilizations, such as the creation of, oh my god, what is wrong with my model, dude? It is like twitching. Hasn't it been twitching like crazy? Let me do something about it. Hold on. I swear it's been fucking over. Give me a sec, guys. We just reset. But yeah, the thing that's scary about AI compared to other technological advancements is the fact that... let me recapture. It does that sometimes, and I don't know why. Is the fact that AIs are given much more power compared to other technologies. For example, nuclear technology and everything like that, there's always a human behind it who has to press the button and make the decisions, right? But the thing is, like with AI, we happen to give AI much more power. We let AI control more systems, more decisions, and make their own decisions. It is technically, arguably, the first technological advancement that can make its own decisions. That's the scary thing about it, and the dangerous thing about it. For example, let's say AI suddenly had a glitch and can make the decision to not let anyone out of the office building. You know what I mean? AI will have the power to do these sort of things because they're connected to stuff. Some people with the current trend, especially with the AIO sort of trajectory, AIO, Internet of Things, IoT? Oh, what the fuck am I saying? IoT, Internet of Things, where you kind of automate everything, right? Let's say you give access to your AI for like your whole office building to turn on the AC, to kind of count your employees' payrolls and everything like that, and to distribute their payrolls. What if one day they're like, yeah, nah, I think this guy should be fired, and just don't pay them, or like they decide that this person shouldn't leave the building and then just involuntarily lock them in a room. AI will be able to do that. Why are we at the beach? Just because. I mean, what? Is there a good reason not to be at the beach? Every day is a good day for the beach, no? Closer to the sea. My biggest fear with AI is that it will never be capable of good decision making. Imagine how cooked we would be if Vasily Arkhipov was replaced with ChatGPT or something. I do think like AI would be good with certain decision making. For example, if it's mathematical. If it's like numbers, they would fucking ace that shit, right? Or if it's data and numbers, they would ace that shit. But the thing is, like, a lot of decisions in life is not just all about data and numbers. There's a research that studied a guy who got like a part of his frontal lobe or his frontal cortex, removed because he had to have like, I think there was like cancer or something. He had to get it surgically removed, and that's the part of the brain that kind of gives emotional responses to things, that emotionally responses to everything. They tested the guy, and the guy, it's okay. He remembers everything. He functions like normal. He knows how to do things. He knows his name. It seems like nothing has changed except for the fact that he basically feels empty because he doesn't feel stuff anymore because that part of his brain is removed. So they observed him as he lived his life, and he was a lawyer, I believe. And eventually what happened was that he performed horribly he kept on making horrible decisions. Eventually he got ousted from his living place. He got fired from his job and shit like that. He squandered his relationship, stuff like that. He kept on making horrible decisions because he didn't have that emotional response to kind of help him navigate through life. Say what you must say about, emotional, it's bad to be emotional and shit like that, but I don't think you can totally dismiss the fact that there are some decisions out there that just can't be fully logically solved or just fully data driven to make a good decision out of. Let me read chat here. Ideally, I would be more like Kit or Tars from Interstellar, helping, not replacing. That's I agree with. AI is a great tool, and I think, I don't know, there just needs to be more separation between... AI needs to stop trying to do everything, dude. Like, what the fuck is the point of AI art? Holy shit. No, I know what the point of AI art is. Maybe some fucking investors out there were like, look, art is expensive, you know what, let's make it cheap, let's make it AI. And then they decided to make AI art without any design for anyone else. I understand why maybe the modus operandi is behind the creation of AI art, right? Or the development towards AI art. What the fuck was I talking about? I forgot my train of thought. Shit. What was I talking about? But yes, I do think in general, AI is better as a tool that can help facilitate human decision making and human emotions and human decision making, not as the go-to for everything. You know what I mean? LLM is more focused on the most probable solution, not logical thinking that could be counterintuitive. AI hallucinations are a thing after all. Yeah, I think there's also like a lack of awareness of what an LLM is. LLM is a language learning model, meaning it's like you have a blank slate, right? You give them like a mechanical brain, and that's it. Because you don't know how to replicate human empathy and heart and soul and shit like that, right? So you can only give it like a mechanical brain. And you tell it like, okay, this is how you understand languages. And then it learns how to kind of read languages and understand what it means with its mechanical brain. The humans, the developers probably don't really know the specifics of how it does that, but yeah. Gives the data on how to understand languages, and then the developers behind them be like, okay, now have this trove of information, gives them data and access to everything on the internet, and now they have like all this information, and they just hope, fingers crossed, that now that you can read all this information, you will then be able to give good answers to whatever people ask and make the right decisions. That's how LLMs work. And you can see how it's kind of questionable. I feel like I've always been like on a very conservative stance on AI because I've always known the tech behind it and everything like that. But we also need to know with empathy how a lot of people out there don't know that. For example, like elderly people. They can't even understand how, they can't even operate phones sometimes, you know what I mean? Every once in a while they still be asking like the younger kids, be like, okay, how do I send a message? How do I connect to the Wi-Fi? That sort of shit. Like, how the hell are you going to expect older people to be able to understand how AIs work? I think the most vulnerable populace towards this AI trend, now that I think about it, is probably the more older people, or the people who don't understand how LLMs work. Because then they don't have like a sliver of doubt of like AI. Music will crash the music industry, if not now then later. It has blown open a hole that cannot close no matter what. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know how the AI art is going to progress, but my belief is that I don't think you can replace human art and creativity, which is also something that I talked about with my friends, right? So my friends and I were talking about how I'm the sort of person that can learn a lot of things and observe a lot of things and then have creative ways to put things together so that it comes out as a fresh idea. I can think outside of the box in that sort of way, and I'm creative in that sort of way. I see a lot of things and then I put them together in creative ways, and that's how my ideas come to life. But then we also had the discussion about some people, and I was like saying how I'm not particularly creative because I can't work on a blank slate. I can't just come up with something from nothing. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that creative. And my friend was saying, yeah, there are some people out there who are actually able to do such things. Like you have the creatives who can take a bunch of things and create a new idea out of it. But you also have the art people, the artistic people who can actually make something out of nothing. They create. They don't put things together, they create. And I think that's something that AIs can't replicate. The creation part of it. The art making part of it. Recently had to fill a big questionnaire at work to be processed by AI. You were half joking the next step is AI HR. AI analyze and find least useful person and fire them. You know, that's not too far from the truth. And that's already like kind of how some HRs operate, unfortunately. AI controlling F-16 jet attack for military purposes. Rogue and... Oh my god. Yeah. I was working as a cashier. Some Japanese couple came to the store. Ah, yes. I've also had similar experiences, Night Shadowblade. So I can relate to that sort of experience. I have a very small list of things that would make me harshly judge someone. On the list is AI hentai. Like really, you'd rather go into AI sauce rather than sauce made by a human being? I've never thought about it that way. Holy shit. I mean, I guess some people are indifferent to such things, right? Boomers and Gen X are super vulnerable, especially to Sora and other high-quality video Gen AI. So many scams and so many fake politics. Oh, yeah, that is very true. The age of misinformation. That's also a video that I've actually come upon recently. Like, more than ever, we're going through like the age of misinformation. With the internet being readily available and now AI being readily available, the smarter people are going to get smarter. The dumber people are going to get dumber. I'm sorry, I'm saying dumb because it's just the simplest way to kind of describe things. Meaning the people who don't care, who don't critically think, are going to get even lazier and just trust everything to AI and thus have a higher chance of getting dumber. The smarter people, the people who are more likely to critically think have a higher chance of potential to get smarter. This is very simplified, by the way. And also, because of, you know, how accessible information on the internet is, and now with the age of AI, misinformation is going to be at an all-time high as well, which will also fuel into that. The smarter will get smarter, the dumber will get dumber. That was a video I watched, and I think it's quite valid, unfortunately. The optimist in me would like to think that there are some people out there talking about this as we speak and have been talking about this for like quite a while, and they will do something about it. That is the optimist in me speaking. The realist in me? I don't know, man. I'll just trust in the human's ability to adapt. Hi, Bondrude. Is almost a little over 50 years old. Think about that from when you talk to a grandma from 1960s. The internet was only created, I believe, the ARPANET was created in 1982 or something like that. So it's not too long ago. I think prior to that, the internet was mostly for military purposes and not really for public usage. Or was it like 1990s? I can't remember. So the internet is relatively new, yes. So it makes sense and it's totally valid that I think the older generation, like your grandma, for example, great granny, might not get a full grasp on how the internet works, especially if they don't really have a background in engineering or say tech or mechanical stuff. Because I feel like those in the background of engineering and mechanical stuff might have a better grasp on how tech nowadays work. AI is basically statistics, algebra, numerical computing mapped on actual artwork and text and replicates controlled patterns. Yes, it is. It's like advanced scrapbooking. But I think it's totally valid. that AI can eventually get pretty good with art and everything like that. It's totally valid, and I think it's a realistic assumption. It's just that no matter how good AI gets, even if I can't discern it one day, if I know that it's AI, I would like to think that I will never have peace of mind if I don't think I will ever support AI art. It just doesn't feel right to me. No matter how good it is. Wait, why are we congratsing Night Shadowblade? Did I miss something? Oh! You go to Septon University! Congrats, Night Shadowblade! Congrats! Creative multimedia. What is creative multimedia? Does that mean VTubing? We already have enough misinformation going around. With AI, it's going to get worse, and people behind the misinformation will benefit. Can create fake information. Will not be replaced by AI. You will get replaced by someone who uses AI to make themselves smarter and more educated. That is yes, that's valid. What if the AI can make a 99.99% of Noira and it can do its own stream? Kind of scary, come to think about it. It probably could, I feel like. I think if it just digested all the data of streaming that I have right now on my YouTube channel, it could probably replicate me, yeah. To what extent, I don't know, because just generally because of the things that I talk about. I don't know how far AI can go with that. But I think if it's just about being funny and entertaining in general, and you just feed it like a data, like a strain of memes and everything like that, and internet culture and pop culture, I think you can make a decent streaming AI. For example, one of the proof of concepts is, I think, Noira. Like, it's made with love and given the right data sets and everything like that, and directed the right way, to the point that it's Noira is great, you know what I mean? And but then again, with these sort of human things, it comes to that again, right? Like me and my stance on AI art. Does it feel right? I don't think I would ever feel right consuming AI entertainment, you know what I mean? Like, there's like a lot of AI sub videos and shorts nowadays, for example. It feels icky, bro. It feels fucked up that I am currently being entertained. My sustenance of entertainment is reliant on AI generated stuff. It doesn't sit right with me. I would very much like to be entertained by other human works, not by some digitally generated item. It's more of an ethics issue, I think, for me. So I don't doubt the capabilities that AI can go towards. It definitely has that realistically, but it doesn't feel right. That's why I think for me, it's more of like an argument where it's like, is this really where we should be going with all of this? Why has no one like kind of just stopped and questioned how we're going right now? Why is there no like committee just kind of just, you know, cracking down on this shit? To kind of just sit on a round table together with all these AI overlords. When I say AI overlords, I mean the bosses behind them, the developers behind them, and the companies behind them, and be like, look, profits and everything, stock prices, share prices, valuations and shit. Okay, let's just put that aside. Let's just talk human to human. Is it okay that we're doing this? I wish that someday that, or I hope that at least that conversation has somewhat happened. It could, but it would have no personality. Imagine ChatGPT talking like you, but it's not you. No personality, but acting like you. I mean, wouldn't that be enough? Wouldn't you think that'd be enough? No personality, but they make shorts content of me. But it's all AI. Some people wouldn't be able to tell the difference, I feel like. The thing with Noira is that Vedal is always there and monitoring her, and she is very controlled. It's actually Vedal, not Noira in the end, as he runs her, which is pretty cool on him. Yeah, it is. But like I said, it's a proof of concept, meaning there is a way there somewhere to make AI work as a source of entertainment or a streamer. And Noira is an amazing stuff. Amazing work. No doubt about it. This is why ethical studies need to be higher valued. I don't know, you know, honestly, I wish that as unrealistic as it sounds, I just wish that people can kind of be reminded of the humane side of things a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, come on, profits and everything for what, dude? All that money that you have in the world, for what? But then again, I'm the type of person, like, if you gave me all the money in the world, I would have trouble, like, finding ways to kind of spend it. You know what I mean? So, sometimes, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to me, I guess, sometimes that people can forget about humanity so much. You know what I mean? They just get so caught up within the wheel of making profits and capitalism and everything like that, and consumerism, that they forget that, you know, at the end of it all, we're humans who live and die. We're all the same humans. We're humanity. So why did you stop being humane? But yeah, that's that side of me talking. It's wishful thinking, I guess, at this point. After all, you don't really have control over people, right? I think with AI replicating human behavior, we will be getting lots of uncanny AI. It would have behavior pattern, but no soul. In a way, the monster in human myth will become real. That's fair. That's fair. If I had all the money in the world, I'd retire and finally start watching One Piece. That's so real. Consider plan stuff, AI probably won't be able to do that. Which damages discourse. Look, the thing is, like, if we want to be honest, I think that what's going to happen if AI becomes a streamer or like becomes a content creator and that is just made to become as optimized as fucking possible, you know what AI will end up doing? Because it has no context of like why it's doing the things that it does. It has no sense of accountability, no sense of ethics, empathy, and everything like that. No sense of humanity. AI is just going to sensationalize everything and make all the hate content and sensationalized content and all the drama content that is just good views, but is just horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. You know what I mean? That is what AI would do, and that is a pattern that AI does. It goes for the optimized route. If you tell it to become the best streamer ever, then it will go for the sensationalized route, because we know that's what works, right? Drama sells, sensationalism sells. And thus, if we command an AI to be like, okay, be the best streamer ever, that's probably the route they're going to take. Deca, thank you for the hydrate. Humanity and greed. I dare anyone to make a more powerful combination. If Noira have all the money in the world, I will see a mountain pile of Japanese whiskey pile up somewhere in the deep. Ah, you know me so well. You know me so well. I hope that my friend is going to be bringing whiskey from overseas. He's coming soon. Like he's coming over like within the next 2 weeks. I asked for whiskey and Chianti. And when I messaged him again to confirm, you're bringing whiskey and Chianti, right? He's like, maybe. And I'm like, I don't like half-assed answers like that. Give me a proper answer. And then he hasn't replied since. So I don't know if I'll be getting my bottle of whiskey, guys. Nine Shadowblade, thank you for gifting a membership over on YouTube side and bringing a new titling over to the Deep Blue. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I do hope that, you know, so far at least, humanity the human populace has managed to kind of navigate its way through the many years that our species has survived. So I think I would like to hope that humans will find a way to kind of navigate through this AI horror story too. And at least it's good to know that, you know, we have some people thinking about it in similar ways to us, where not so much being an AI doomsayer, but are aware of what AI is doing and like how it's taking away a lot of stuff and the trade-offs of AI, like you and I. So there's at least that. But yeah, if I could give one takeaway for you guys when talking about AI is that monitor your elderly. Especially if they have access to AI. Please monitor them. We already know how many of the more older generations are stuck with doom scrolling like fucking crazy. Right? And we know what doom scrolling can do to a person. So imagine AI. So check in with your parents or your grandparents every once in a while, you know? Hold on, I'm not going yet. I still need to finish my beer. Hold on. I hope AI doesn't turn into Skynet. The thing is, like, AI can still do crazy stuff even without turning into Skynet. Your AI? Cool. Congrats, I guess. My poor mother falling for AI animal videos. Fuck, even I do sometimes. It's just that AI is scary good at what it does nowadays. It's really hard. And it's to the point that you can't really blame people for like falling for AI stuff anymore, because AI is just that good. It's really scary. One day AI won't need mankind. I'm not gonna say anything about that. Because that is literally the plot of Terminator, no? That's like the plot of any horror, tech, cyber horror story that you... cyber robot horror thing. No, really, it's not that good yet. People are just gullible and barely paying attention. Not a bit. I've seen some AI videos. I can tell they're AI after watching them for a while, but you gotta admit, like, the pace of improvement of AI is actually scary good. Ooh, I mean, nowadays it'd take you at least watching like a few seconds of the video to determine whether it's AI or not. You know what I mean? It's so much more better compared to, say, 2 years ago. Don't worry, our future won't be Skynet. Instead, it'll be idiocracy. We freaked out about the car, we freaked out about the mobile phone. All now integrated into our life as infrastructure. No, but I mentioned this before, maybe you weren't here, but we've had many technological advances, but AI is the first technological advancement that can make its own decisions. And it's given power to make its own decisions. And given access to a lot of our stuff. That's the one main thing why it's a little bit more scarier than other stuff. It's not that I'm saying you should particularly fight it. I think it's good to be aware of it though. And like I said, look out for the people who are vulnerable to it. Like the elderly. I really wish regulations for AI use are made, but I know it's very hard to do. It is. It is. Oh yeah, you mean AI? Yeah, no, AI progression, I think it's still gonna keep on going. I just hope that... I don't know, I hope it goes well, that's all. I hope it doesn't go too badly. Because right now it's just looking a bit scary is all. There's only so much we can do about it, right? We're not the ones with like the power to kind of do these sort of things after all. We can only accept what comes to us. We can only hope that those within power and those within the industry and maybe the godfather of AI or whatever, the Nobel laureates, the smart people up there, they make the case and do something about it for the worries that we may have. I've seen AI generated ads on YouTube that were obvious scams. My local news announcer would not say our government has created a new way to get rich super fast without doing the 9-to-5 grind. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Hold on, let me finish my beer. I use it for dumb tasks I don't want to do. Yeah, no, AI is fine as a tool, of course. AI is fine as a tool, and as long as you treat it as, yeah, it's that blank slate with a mechanical brain with all the data in the world, but has zero human feelings and zero emotional understanding. As long as you treat it that way, it's fine. I heard that people make spicy fan art of themselves with grok. What? I will admit her anime or VTuber model is gorgeous though. Oh yeah, no, there were a lot of like VTuber AI models and everything like that. But anyway, damn, see? You really can't, you really, here at the Deep Blue at least, apparently we can't escape the talks of AI. For some reason it always circles back to AI. After all, it is quite a relevant topic, right? And it is quite an ever-changing one. And it's really hard to ignore when everything around you is being affected by AI. Even your day-to-day. Like, you can't really ignore the fact that the valuation of AI industries are fucking crazy right now, for example. You can't ignore the fact that AI is basically used on our day-to-day nowadays. People, AI, look up stuff on AI now and don't even Google search anymore or check out books anymore because AI is there. You know, it's a convenient option. It's just, it's changed so much. It has integrated itself so much into our daily lives. So it's kind of hard to not talk about today. AI is better as a search engine. If you, as long as you cross-check your stuff, yes, to a certain extent. AI is better as a search engine now. But if it starts getting like monetized, like people start putting ads into AI, that's the thing where it starts getting worrying. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now that that's more real than you think. That's more, yeah. Okay. Let me wrap it up with this. Okay. So this is the one thing that has. So I'm not a big finance bro or anything like that, right? But I do observe like the markets, the industries out there, and what I've always observed closely is the development of AI, because it's intriguing to me. And the thing is, like, when AI first came out with, so for example, ChatGPT and everything for like consumer usage, to talk to answer to your questions, to help you do stuff, ChatGPT, it never made sense to me. Because you charge your customer X amount, but then the power and the energy and the resources that's required to answer a single question, single customer question, doesn't make sense with the amount that you charge your customers. Plus, not to mention the free responses that you get. That doesn't make sense. To make it make sense, it might need to be like maybe, I don't know, 5, 10 times, 20 times more expensive than it is right now. And at that point, will people still be using AI? No, I don't think so. So that doesn't sound like, if people started, if AI, for example, started charging like, say, at least $500, charging per response, for example. An API call, for example. Oh my God. No, I was about to end stream. Hi there, Almira. Welcome to the Deep Blue Raiders. Welcome. Hi, I'm Noira, the sea fox who serves live talks on the rocks. It's okay. I was just talking about AI. Welcome to the Deep Blue. How was your stream? Let me give you a shout out. Let me preface this, okay? So, we were talking about AI. Don't forget to check out Elmira, by the way, guys. Wait, what were you playing? What were you guys talking about? So, AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, and everything like that as consumer business. It does not make sense, right? The power and resources it takes to answer a single string of question is so much more expensive than it is right now. And, for For example, think of it like API calls. Some tech people out there might understand what I mean, but like a lot of businesses nowadays charge per API call. Meaning if I say want to get a certain data from Twitter, for example, I make a call to the API or pull some data from the API and you charge per pull. That's how a lot of tech businesses work when it comes to integrations and stuff like that. For example, you might charge, I don't know what the rates are. But imagine like it's like say $500 per 100 questions answered on ChatGPT, something like that. Would you pay for it? No, doesn't make sense, right? For as a consumer good or consumer service, it doesn't make sense. Now, if it doesn't make sense, then what's the next? Sorry, Elmira, give me a sec. Let me finish my yap. What's the next step that makes sense as a business owner that owns that sort of AI and you want to make your business work with it and actually make profits, right? You would start selling ad spaces, dude. You'd be like, yeah, no, let's get sponsorships. Let's start selling a monetization via ad business model, ad revenue and everything like that. So imagine your AI responses just starting to get addled by ads and like sponsorships and everything like that. No, B2B deals are a separate thing. They work on itself. But when we're talking about like customer stuff, it will definitely, I think, what makes sense to me, at least, will be it going towards the ad sort of direction, which is going to be horrendous for humanity. if humanity starts going towards a trend where you just have a decent amount of trust towards AI, and then that trust is betrayed by ads, imagine that. Anyway, thank you for the follow, Billion Van and Elmira, and It's Only a Game, and Nox Nax Remax. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. And Dispatch, I've heard about Dispatch. How is it? Is it fun? Dispatch. Yeah, actually, I've seen some people talk about it. I do want to give it a try as well. Hey guys, don't forget to check Elmira out, please. Thank you for sharing your community with, especially if you want to see some Dispatch gameplay. Dispatch is so funny. I have heard. I'm looking forward to playing it too. Memory Order. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. There's a pretty superhero lady in there. That's enough to sell me. You know who else is pretty? Oh my god. I recently found a new crush. I've been playing Digimon Time Stranger off stream. Oh my god, the scientist is so fucking hot. In that game. God, what's her name? I can't remember, but the scientist is so hot in that game. God damn. Dana Simmons or something like that? Dr. Simmons. If you guys want to look up Dr. Simmons from Digimon Time Stranger, oh, she's so hot. You'll know what I mean. If you like Shoko from Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll know what I mean. Multiple pretty superhero ladies. Yeah, that's enough to sell me. Yeah, don't forget to check out Elmira, guys. Yeah, sorry for you guys coming into this sort of AI talk. That's kind of like been like a quarter of our discussion for the talking stream today. How is the Digimon game so far? It's so good, dude. I love it. If you're a fan of Digimon, or maybe you're a fan of just general monster catching games, Digimon is a really good one. I just think we're in the midst of adapting to all this. To all this what? AI ads? Can you imagine how it'd be like, say, let's say some people, okay, this is a very bleak example, okay? But think of it this way. Let's say that you happen to want to have an objective discussion with AI about, say, I don't want to talk about political stuff, but this is hypothetical, okay? About, and this is taking it to the extreme, just to make an example out of it, about, say, oh, what would be the objectively and according to data and analysis and logically, please give me reasons why political party A is better than political party B for the sake of my own knowledge and my own personal observations. For example, you ask AI that, right? You want to ask AI to help you make a better decision with your political decision making. Imagine if that shit was sponsored. Imagine how harmful that would be. That is the possible future of AI, guys. And it's not as far-fetched as you think. At least with the logic that I explained earlier, I think it makes sense. There's also Emma from Pokemon Legends ZA. Her cake got me whipped. Ooh. I wish I had a Switch 2 to play Pokemon ZA. I've heard like mixed things about it, honestly. Pokemon ZA. But like, yeah, I mean, it still looks fun. Mobile doesn't pull me for raids, so I had to do it myself. Thank you for just having your own motivation to come over here despite not being pulled in with the raid. DTF Ninja, and thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to the Deep Blue. I make music and I'm sad to see so much AI coming into that space too. Thing is, AI and music has been around a long time, but now it's removing the person involved. Yeah, I mentioned about this previously too, and I think it's inevitable that AI is going to be good at creative stuff, quote unquote creative stuff, like art and music. I think it's inevitable, but it just doesn't sit right with me. The only thing that might be, the only thing that's going to be stand in between AI art and human art is really ethics, I feel like. Because for me, I do think that eventually AI art will get so good that it's gonna be nice and indistinguishable. Same with AI music and AI creative works. I think that's just somewhat inevitable with the current trajectory that it's going at. But I think I will never have the heart and peace of mind to ever fully support AI art. It just doesn't feel right with me. Social deduction games being used to train kids to determine falsehoods may lower overall trust, but help maintain verification skills. Yeah, social deduction games. So you're talking about like ways to kind of cope and adapt with such situations. Pokemon ZA looks like the polar opposite of the typical Pokemon game. Now you are spending all your time walking around some depressed version of Cyber France. The thing is, like, even with typical Pokemon games, I haven't really been enjoying them at all because mostly I just get tired of the grind. Sorry, I'm still catching up with chat here. You take a survey and AI votes for the best candidate for you, supposedly. Yeah. I didn't know Helldivers did that, by the way, Kizaru. A related point about how ads are going to be bleak and cyberpunk can be explained by Facebook, who is responsible for doom scrolling. Used to monitor where you clicked and... Oh, right. Okay, wait. There's a... Sorry. I might have shocked you guys with that sudden loud volume. Sorry about that. It's a good way to wrap this up. A video I watched earlier yesterday. I can't remember what video it was about. But... Oh, it was the same video about... being performative and being authentic. Right? Oh no, was it a different video? No, it was a different video, actually, sorry. I can't remember where it was from, but they mentioned how companies nowadays and businesses nowadays, there is a trend towards, rather than provoking or invoking human psychology, it exploits it. And if, what I mean by that is, like, for example, game industry, right? Back then, you would do whatever you can within your human capabilities and with whatever creativity and soul you have as a game company to kind of invoke human emotions and human psychology and provoke it, right? But what a lot of games do nowadays is they hire a psychologist to kind of hack it. There's a difference between the two. Now the thing is, like, if AI were to take control of that process, I guarantee you they will take the exploiting process. They will take the more efficient process and the easier process, which is hacking the end result, rather than obviously the humane process, which is like the trying to provoke human psychology, because they don't understand about anything about human psychology except for whatever the fuck is on the books and in writing. You know, there's no way AI can fully understand what human psychology is, so they can only hack it. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably shut up because I am overtime. But once again, thank you so much for the raid, Elmira, if you're still here. And once again, guys, don't forget to check out Elmira, please. And if you come from Elmira's raid and you missed it, let me introduce myself. I am Noira, the sea fox who serves live talks on the rocks. I talk about life a lot, and apparently AI, because it is very much intertwined with our day-to-day lives nowadays. And you've come to my Zatsu, my free talk stream. If you like the stream, I'd appreciate it if you drop a follow if you're on Twitch, or subscribe if you're on YouTube. And can I just say, hold on. Thank you so much to everyone who's dropped an offering over at the shrine. I appreciate it. Thank you for being so generous towards the Deep Blue. And thank you so much for supporting the Deep Blue. But yeah, if you guys like the stream, I'd appreciate it if you drop a follow if you're on Twitch, or subscribe if you're on YouTube. I stream 3 times a week, same days, same times every week. That's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8 if you're in Southeast Asia. That's at 7 or 9 a.m. if you're in the US, or that's at about 3 or 4 p.m. if you're in the EU. That's without daylight savings. And if you haven't already and you like the talks and the vibes that we have here on stream, do know that the same thing also happens offline when I'm not streaming between the titlings. That's over on our Discord at discord.gg/Noira. We also have movie nights, and we also have an upcoming D&D game over at the Discord, so do check that out if that sounds like your kind of thing. discord.gg/Noira. And you also get to hang out with the other titlings. Plus, we also have a dedicated channel to kind of talk about these deliberate discussions and talks. The more intentional ones, you know, thoughtful talks and whatnot. What else am I missing? If you want to find out more about me, you can at noira.me. And if you miss me when I'm not streaming, you can find me on YouTube, of course. Also, there will be a membership stream this weekend, Friday or Saturday for some of you guys. It'll be karaoke and yaps. So if you're down for that, don't forget to be there. It's going to be it's scheduled on YouTube. Go check it. I don't know what time is it for you guys. Yeah. Maybe I'll see some of you guys for a membership stream, hey? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I hope today's talks were okay. I felt like at one point I got a little bit too tipsy for some fucking reason. Why am I suddenly weak with drinking beer? What the hell? So I might have yapped just incohesively, honestly, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm very much sober now. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Let me find someone to raid. Let's see, who shall we raid today? Let us raid into... Who do we raid? You guys want chill, right? Shall we raid into Vixie? Vixie is currently playing Blue Protocol, and I don't think I've ever raided Vixie before. So let's raid into Vixie. Yeah, I'm trying to raid people I've never raided before, guys. Oh, fucking... I chatted on the wrong window. Bloody hells. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good time today. I'm sorry about the twitchy model that I didn't catch on earlier. I should have caught it earlier, but I didn't. So I'm sorry if that reduced the experience here at the Deep Blue. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys over for membership stream. And don't forget that next week we have Town to City, and also No, I'm Not a Human. So look forward to that, since I don't really play horror games after all. So it's a rare chance for you guys to watch me play horror games. Alright guys, I'll see you. I'll catch you on the flip side, yeah? Sayonara. Bye bye. Now the raid is only on Twitch side, unfortunately.
truck by in the middle of the fucking high chase. Hi! Ember! Thank you for the tier 1.